Please raise your right hand to be sworn. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you will give today in this trial will be the truth? Yes. You may be seated. Please adjust the microphone as you need to so you can be clearly heard. Ms. Kappelman, you may examine.
Please state your name and spell your name.
Wendi Adelson, Wendiadelson.
Ms. Adelson, where are you from?
I'm from Coral Springs, Florida.
And you live in another state now currently, right?
I do, yes ma'am.
All right. How are you employed?
I'm an immigration attorney.
How long have you been an attorney?
Since 2006.
And you're here pursuant to a state subpoena, is that correct?
Yes.
And that subpoena confers a type of immunity on you. Do you understand that?
I do.
Okay. Which means that nothing you say here in court pursuant to that subpoena can be used against you at a later time. Do you understand that?
I do.
Okay, but it doesn't necessarily mean you could never be prosecuted. It just means that what you say in court could not be used in any future prosecution. Do you understand that?
Yes.
All right. I want to ask you about your ex-husband, Daniel Markel. Is that a fair and accurate photo of Mr. Markel?
Yes.
When did you meet him?
We met originally online. It must have been the fall of my first year of law school, so 2003.
Okay, and when did you marry Mr. Markel?
We married in February of 2006.
Were you living in Tallahassee at some point as a married couple?
Yes.
When did you move to Tallahassee?
We moved to Tallahassee my final year of law school, so that would have been in the summer of 2005. And we were here from 2005 till 2006. We spent a year at the University of Miami from 2006 to 2007, and then came back to Tallahassee from 2007 until 2014.
All right, and during the time that you were living here in Tallahassee, did you live over on Trescott Drive?
For some of the time that we lived here, yes.
And when your first child was born, were you residing at the Trescott Drive residence at that point?
Yes.
Okay. I think I have a photo of that here. Is that the Trescott Drive residence?
Yes.
Okay. And how many children did you have with Mr. Markel?
We have 2 children.
What were their ages at the time of their father's death?
It was 10 days before my older son's 5th birthday, so he was 4 turning 5, and our younger son was 3.5. The boys are 14 months apart.
Okay. And did there come a time when you and Mr. Markel separated?
Yes.
When was the separation?
It was in the fall of 2012.
Whose decision was it to separate?
It was mine.
How did your ex take that news?
Well, we talked about it many times before it actually happened, but when the separation became official, he was very upset.
And even though there were problems and issues and discussions, it was a surprise to him when it actually happened, right?
It was.
Okay. And was part of the reason for the separation your differing views on how to raise the kids pursuant to the Jewish faith?
I'd say it was a very small part, but it was a part.
Did you consider your ex to be a religious zealot?
No, I didn't think he was a religious zealot, but I did think he was using religion as a way of controlling me.
Okay. Did you think he was more devout in his faith than you were?
I don't know that. I feel like devoutness has to do with maybe a relationship with God, and I don't know that his was more strong than mine, but he was more observant of kosher rules than I was.
Okay, and can you explain for the jury what those imply for those of us
Sure.
that don't know?
So keeping kosher has to do with separating milk from meat, something like you can't eat a cheeseburger. And it has to do with the ritual way that animals are killed. So certain meats would be considered kosher or non-kosher. And then things like shellfish are not allowed, or pork would not be allowed. And so his beliefs changed over time. We used to have bacon, and then bacon became a no later on.
All right, and those rules were something that he was wanting to impose on the children, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and you were less interested in those kosher rules?
It was less important to me.
All right, were both you and Mr. Markel raised within the Jewish faith?
We were, yes.
When you separated from Mr. Markel, did you move out of the marital home while he was on a business trip?
I did, yes.
Where did you go when you left the marital home?
I went to another property that I had rented for the boys and me.
Was that at 3303 Aqua Ridge Way?
Yes.
Was that located in Leon County?
Yes.
Okay. What was the custody arrangement, broad terms are fine, for this time frame during the separation?
I think we were just trying to figure out how to make it work. We didn't have any formal custody arrangement at that time. I remember his parents came to town that weekend, and I made sure that he had the boys that weekend. We were just trying to figure out how to make it work until we had something formal.
Was the arrangement roughly 50-50 or something else?
It would have been roughly 50-50.
Okay, and were you mixing it up during the week, or was it a week on, week off situation?
It wasn't week on, week off. We didn't settle into that until the first summer, or maybe the second summer. I don't remember. That was more of a summer arrangement. But it was 50-50 and definitely a mix during the week.
Okay. I'm gonna publish what's been introduced into evidence as State's Exhibit 60. Your petition. Was your mom, Donna Adelson, involved at all in drafting your divorce documents?
No.
Did she ever make any edits to any of the filings that you made pursuant to your divorce?
I think she made suggestions, but I had an attorney, a very good attorney, helping me through the process, so she wasn't editing legal documents.
Did you ever forward any of your mom's suggestions to your lawyer?
I probably did.
And when you did that, would you attribute them to your mom, or would you just forward them along without noting whether they were your questions or your mom's questions?
I honestly don't remember.
Was this a contentious divorce?
It was.
As part of your divorce, did you file a petition to ask the court for permission to relocate to South Florida?
I did.
And I think that was your amended petition. Not sure if we can see that very well. Here we go. It says the wife also desires to relocate to South Florida in order to provide a better quality of life for the children by increasing their access to close family and providing more stability and consistency. Who was the close family that was available in South Florida for the boys?
My mom, my dad, and my brother.
Why did you want to move to South Florida?
I had very unstable employment in Tallahassee. I had a wonderful job, but it was on grant money, so year to year I never knew if I would still have my job. I had a job offer that was very good in South Florida, and the assumption was that Danny was always going to be at a different school, a better school. He used to joke that he would take one bar exam for every 2 bar exams that I had to take while we moved around the country, and so it seemed like a way of having stability while he was climbing up the law professor ladder to be ultimately at Harvard or Yale.
And was relocation important to you?
It was, in terms of having a safe and stable place for my kids.
Did you consider having to live here in Tallahassee being stuck? Or had you referred to it previously as being stuck in Tallahassee?
I mean, I may have. The idea of being stuck is if you don't have permission to live anywhere you want to live. But I had a nice quality of life here.
Did you consider the worst case scenario to be that you would end up stuck here in Tallahassee if your petition was denied?
I don't know. I mean, at the time, I may have felt that way.
Okay. Might you have sent an email to a friend on March 24th of 2013 indicating, quote, "I do fear that the worst case scenario that could happen is that I will be stuck here in Tallahassee"?
It's possible that I sent that.
Would it refresh your recollection to review that item?
I'm happy to.
It's on tab 6 on one of those binders in front of you. Let me see which one it is. It's gonna be this one.
This one? I see it's highlighted, so yes.
Okay, and did you also email a friend around the same time frame regarding life in Tallahassee couldn't compare to the life that you would be able to enjoy in South Florida with your brother Charlie and his boat and pool and hot tub and things like that?
It's certainly possible.
All right, that's on tab 7. Please refresh your recollection.
Yes.
And in fact, didn't you use the word stuck in your actual motion for relocation? Let's see if we can get there. Here, the wife is merely stuck in Tallahassee until the husband decides that the time is right for him to leave.
So my attorney did write that, and that sounds right.
Did Tallahassee feel claustrophobic to you?
Well, at this point in time, Danny was making lots of unplanned announcements to my office where we worked together. So I would see him at work. I never knew when he was showing up. So I'm sure, you know, this is 12 years ago that's how I felt at that time.
Okay, but outside of the context of your relationship with Dan Markel, did you ever express that just the smallness and slowness of Tallahassee made you feel claustrophobic?
I don't remember saying that.
Please refer to tab 8 to refresh your recollection.
Your Honor, if I may at this time, the state tell us you're just saying the tab number, so we're not sure what document you're referring to.
Yes,
believe
I
the
can.
binder is up on the witness stand. Ms. Kappelman, does the defense have a copy of the same binder?
No, Your Honor. I'll show them the tab.
Please do.
That's a dense one. Were you able to find it?
I did. I found it's part of a sentence. Can I read the whole sentence?
Sure.
Tallahassee feels claustrophobic at times, given its smallness and slowness, and the fact that my friends cycle through here with transient regularity. So yes, at that moment in time, that's how I was feeling in 2013.
And relocation was pending at the time that you were feeling that way in that moment, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and relocation was also very important to your mother, wasn't it?
Yes,
All right, and did you have some discussions with your mother about relocation?
I did.
And was that during that time frame when it was pending?
Yes,
Okay, and do you see your mother in the courtroom here today?
yes.
Could you please point her out and describe what she's wearing?
My mom is on right. I can't see her clothes from here, but she's directly across from me.
All right, is she wearing a headset on her head?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let the record reflect the witness has identified the defendant.
The record will reflect.
Your mom didn't want you to be stuck in Tallahassee either, did she?
She did not.
She wanted the best for you, right?
She saw the best for me as not being in Tallahassee. Yes.
That's right. She referred to being in Tallahassee that you were a hostage and a prisoner, right?
Yes, she did.
Oh no. Clickergate continues. Prisoner. Close enough. Did your mom express concerns that as a Tallahassee native, the judge presiding over your relocation motion would underestimate how much better it would be for you to live in South Florida?
She did.
All right, let me ask you a few questions about your parents. Your mom is Donna Adelson. Who's your dad?
My dad is Harvey Adelson.
All right. And where did your parents, I think you said they were in Coral Springs back in 2012?
Yes,
Is that
ma'am.
right? Okay. How long had they lived in the Coral Springs area?
I was born there, so from I think they started living there when my oldest brother was born, so since the early 70s.
So fair to say they had deep roots there in that area.
Yes.
Can you describe the relationship that your mom had with your kids during the time frame we're talking about? So separation to murder time frame?
It was very close. My mom taught my boys how to read. She taught them how to play chess. It was very close.
Were your parents employed during that time frame?
Yes.
What kind of work did they do?
My dad was a dentist, and my mom was the office manager for the dental practice.
All right, and what about your brother, Charlie? Did he have a role there as well?
He was a periodontist, and so I believe at some point he purchased the practice. I don't remember what year that was, but he would sometimes work from my dad's office and sometimes work from other offices around South Florida.
Was the dental practice, the family dental practice, a successful business?
I believe it was. My family never discussed money or finances with me, but I believe it was doing well.
Did you discuss your marital problems and resulting legal issues with your mom?
I
Talked
did.
about relocation, but in general, you did talk about your woes with your mom?
I did.
Okay. And I think you said you did send many of your divorce pleadings to her, is that right?
I did.
What about your dad? What was his role in reference to your divorce pleadings?
I don't remember exactly. My parents have a shared email, so when I send an email to one of them, I would send it. It was being sent to both, but I don't know who was reading what or at what time.
Is it fair to say they were both welcome to read whatever you sent to that email address?
Yes.
And both welcome to reply as well?
Yes.
Who would reply more frequently, your mom or your dad, to those
My mom
types?
would reply more frequently.
Okay. Who took more of an interest in the day-to-day ins and outs of your litigation?
Probably my mom.
Okay. Is your mom overprotective of you?
Yes.
Is your mom an emotional person?
Yes.
What about your dad? Is he emotional as well?
I think so.
Okay, did you previously say he was more of a straight shooter and mom was more emotional?
I think so, but I think women tend to be more emotional and men tend to be less emotional.
Okay.
Before you continue, Ms. Cattleman, I am going to admit State 60JJ at this time. Is there any objection the defense wishes to raise?
Yes, Your Honor. Same objection.
The court admits it over objection. For the record, you may continue.
And I think that's the same exhibit that's in State 64AA, Judge. It's not necessary to have duplicates, but because of the way the evidence came out in this trial, that is present in State 64 as well.
States 64AA is admitted. As far as the final record, if you wish to remove one, you may, but both are admitted for the record.
Thank you, Judge. All right, is it fair to say that your mom, the defendant, is a controlling person?
I don't think my mom is a controlling person.
Did you say at one time back in 2013 that your mom operates with emotional subterfuge?
I may have said that.
Would you like to refresh your memory?
I can.
It's tab 45 in the binder in front of you.
I'm not seeing it. Is it highlighted or is it just in the, it's a long, oh, no.
Copy away. It's in the first paragraph on page 3.
That one, you can just walk up and show the witness the portion of what you wish for her to read to herself.
I will judge. Page 3.
This is 3, I think.
Yeah, somewhere in there. Let me get the other copy. Sorry, I've lost it again. What was it?
I'm sorry.
Highlighted in this copy.
Okay. Okay.
Alright, so the question was, did you previously say your mom operates with emotional subterfuge?
Yes.
What is meant by that?
I honestly don't know what I meant at the time.
But not that she's controlling.
I don't think that's what I meant.
Did Dan Markel have a hard time understanding some of your mom's behaviors?
I don't remember that.
Well, did she think you incapable of driving to South Florida by yourself with the kids? This is back when they were little.
Yeah, I don't think she thought I was incapable, but I was breastfeeding and it was helpful to have someone with me.
So what was her practice to avoid you having to do that?
One of my parents would come with me for the long drive.
So they would rent a car, come up here, ride back with you, and then follow the same procedure to get you home.
They would drive with me if I was down there, back up, and then rent a car to come home.
And did that procedure occur the week before the murder? There was a visit the week before the murder, correct?
I think it was 2 weeks before.
Okay. And on that trip, is that how it was handled, where they rented a car and came up to get you?
Yes.
Okay. Did your dad think that was necessary, or was that a mom thing?
No, my dad probably thought it was more necessary.
Okay, and did your dad make a practice of supporting whatever your mom wanted? Is that kind of the general rule?
Yeah.
Was she the dominant force in the household?
I mean, I think my dad had more of a quiet strength, so it's hard to say who was a dominant force. I think they were both equally strong in their parenting.
Okay, did you previously describe this back in 2013 that your mom was the dominant force in the household? If you need to refresh, it's tab 97.
Okay. So this one goes up to 93. Is it?
Check the very back. Got a few extras tucked in there. I'll just approach this copy.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
You did say mom was the dominant force in the household.
Yes.
Did your mom ever try to micromanage your life,
Yes.
your career?
I don't know about my career. I chose to be a lawyer. It wasn't a very popular choice in my household.
Yes, and there were different types of areas of law that she would have preferred you practice. Do you agree with that?
I actually think they were really proud of what I was doing.
Not to suggest she wasn't proud of you, but she was encouraging you to pursue a different type of law that would be more lucrative. Do you remember that?
I do, yeah.
And what about your dating life? Did she meddle there?
Yes.
Did she create a dating profile for you on Match.com?
I don't know if it was Match.com, but I do remember a dating profile at some point.
that she created for you,
I didn't use it, but yes.
and conducted searches for men in the Miami area and sent them to you.
I think
Remember
this
that?
was when I was living in DC, maybe.
Okay, let's go forward a little bit here. Sorry, we'll get there. Okay, so here we have an email dated January 17th, 2013. For the record, this is 64I. And it reads, so honey, so you think I'm nuts, but when you get a moment, check out some of these whom I've pre-screened for you. And these are guys in Miami, right? After all, you're gonna be in Miami here and there. Why not see who's out there, right?
Yes.
Okay. And here's some options that she sent you. Here's an interesting guy, etc. Okay. Did you ever feel like your mom was walking all over you?
I don't remember feeling that way.
Okay, what about specifically regarding this divorce?
I don't. I mean, I had a really good attorney and I was making the decisions I wanted to make.
Okay. And did you, back in April of 2013, tell a friend that you were trying to find a way to coexist with your mom that didn't feel like she was trampling your autonomy?
I'm sure I said that in 2013.
How did your mom feel about Dan Markel in this time frame, 2012 to 2016?
And I think I think a lot changed between 2012 and 2016. So I think her feelings about him changed over time.
Okay, and what about in 2016? Did she hate Dan Markel?
No, not in 2016.
What about 2014? Did she hate him then?
No.
Did you say do you remember giving a law enforcement interview in reference to this case?
Yes, I remember.
That was the same day that Mr. Markel was shot, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and did you say in that interview, for court and counsel, I'm referring to page 288, lines 24 through 289, line 1, quote, my parents have more reason to dislike Danny than almost anyone else?
At that point, I was sitting with law enforcement for 6 hours and had just been told that Danny had been shot. So I was in shock and I was trying to help the police think of anything I could possibly think of that would be helpful.
And are you suggesting that after 6 hours you became fatigued to the point that you started saying things that weren't true?
No, I didn't say anything that wasn't true. I just was in shock. I just kept talking and talking and talking.
When your mom is really upset about something, does she talk about it a lot?
Yes.
And when she talks about it a lot, and I'm referring you back to this time frame, does she talk to your brother Charlie specifically a lot?
My mom and Charlie have always talked a lot.
Okay. And was Charlie kind of like your mom's problem solver?
I don't know about that. I kind of feel like it was where she would help him more throughout childhood and adulthood. She would help him solve problems, not really.
She definitely did a lot for him, didn't she?
She did.
She helped him with his business. She helped him with his personal life, his finances, his bills, remember to pay the whatever. She was like still mothering him into adulthood, right?
Yes.
Okay. But as far as meddling in your life, did your mom feel that Charlie could make more progress with you than she could on items like who you were going to date?
I would just be guessing about that.
Okay. At the time of Dan Markel's murder, was the defendant, your mother, very angry at Dan Markel?
Before he died?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
And you hated him too, right?
At certain points, I was very frustrated with him.
Did you refer to him as an STD?
I don't remember saying that.
Tab 5.
It looks like I made that analogy.
Danny is an STD. One wrong mistake, marrying him, and this will never go away. Is that what you said?
I did.
And did you share that kind of sentiment with your mother?
I don't remember ever saying that, so I don't think it's something I said very often.
And this was said in an email on February 26th of 2013, correct?
It was.
Approximately 17 months before the murder?
Yes, I don't think it was an email though. It looks like it was sort of an iMessage.
Okay. Did you ever refer to your ex-husband as the Dark Lord?
I don't remember saying that, but I certainly might have.
Did you refer to your ex-husband as Gibbers?
I did.
What is the meaning of Gibbers?
Gibbers was just a silly name that a friend helped me come up with to basically make him feel less scary. It was nonsense.
Did it reference Jew in boots?
That I don't remember.
It wasn't a friendly name, right?
It was a silly name.
Did you ever say that you hated Dan Markel?
I don't remember saying it, but I certainly could have.
Tab 31, please, to refresh your memory.
I said that I hate him in this moment.
Okay, and did you say in that email, that same email, quote, I hate that I hate my children's dad?
I did.
And do you agree that email was sent approximately 15 months before Mr. Markel was murdered?
It was in April of 2013.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yes, ma'am. The approach with what I've marked as 56A, B, C, and 57. I asked you about the Gibbers nickname. Did you have that nickname stored in your cell phone as Dan Markel's contact name?
I did.
Approach and show you these exhibits and ask if they're fair and accurate. Contacts, 56A, who is that a contact for, if you know?
It's my mom's phone number, so that would have been, it's a picture of Ben as a little guy and my mom.
Okay, so fair and accurate contact
Yes.
from your phone for mom at that time?
Yes.
Okay, and then 56B,
That's my dad.
and that's his phone number.
It is.
Okay, 56C,
That's my brother.
Charlie.
Yes.
Okay, fair and accurate phone number for him at that time.
Yes.
And then 57, is that the contact you had in there for your ex-husband, Dan Markel?
Yes.
Alright, Judge, at this time I'd ask to move into evidence 56 and 57.
Any objection?
No objection.
States 56 and 57 are admitted at this time.
Did you ever refer to your ex-husband, Dan Markel, as an emotional terrorist?
I very well could have. I don't remember saying that, but I
That one's on tab 34. I'm so sorry. Is that, yes, I believe it is 34.
It is, I see it. I said it in December of 2013.
Approximately 7 months before his murder.
December to, yes, approximately 7 months.
And tab 35, in June of 2014, did you say of your ex-husband, I hate him so?
I don't see it.
Are you on tab 35?
No, I was on tab 34. It's tab 35.
Sorry, yes.
I did write that.
And that was approximately 3 weeks before Mr. Markel was murdered, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Lost my clicker. Clickers are a real problem for me. All right, next I want to ask you about Mr. Markel's response to your petition to relocate. Is it fair to say he was adamantly opposed to that motion?
Yes.
All right, and you all fought over things large, of course, but also very small, like in this pleading, a tennis racket is mentioned, right?
Yes.
And, oh, jumped ahead on us. Okay, let's go back. In Mr. Markel's response, and for court and counsel, this is page 82 of Exhibit 60, he indicates, the husband affirmatively alleges that the wife helped herself to non-marital assets, including money and stocks owned prior to marriage, as well as numerous personal non-marital belongings of the husband, such as luggage, bicycle, tennis racket, and family heirlooms. Did you take those things when you vacated the property?
I did remember taking his tennis racket by accident, and I returned that, but otherwise I didn't take his belongings.
Did you strategize to leave him in a way that would cause or inflict maximum damage upon him?
No.
Is that something your mom ever said?
I don't
To your
remember that.
knowledge? Did you discuss with your mom how and when you would leave your marriage?
I did.
Do you recall a November 2nd, 2012 email where Dan Markel was saying to you, you know, let's put all this aside. This is all about the kids. Let's act toward each other in a way that they can be proud of. Did he say that to you?
I remember reading an email like that.
All right, and we talked about the Aqua Ridge apartment, or I guess it was a home, residence. Is this a fair and accurate photo? I've blurred your kids' faces, but of the living space there?
Thank you for doing that. Yes, that's our home.
Okay. And did your mom help you secure this place to live? Did she have any involvement in that?
She did.
Okay, what involvement did she have?
She helped me move in.
Okay, did she help you locate the place to live?
I think
At
so.
all? Okay. Did she come up and look at places with you as well?
We did.
Okay. Did Dan Markel threaten you in the pleadings with federal kidnapping charges?
He did.
And that was associated with the way he claimed that you left the marriage?
Yes.
Okay. And he says you took the kids and did not tell him where they were for several, I think I've seen days and weeks. Is that true?
It's true that he said that. It's not true that that's what happened.
What was his position on your motion to relocate?
We did talk about it before I filed it, and he was amenable to figuring it out, but once I filed it, he was against it.
Okay. Did he allege in his response that the sole stated reason that you wanted to relocate was to be closer to your parents?
He did say that in his response.
Right. And is that the response that your mom referred to as his 23-page rant?
Probably,
And she had a lot of thoughts about that particular filing, didn't she?
yes.
Okay. And she laid those out in an email to you. I know you remember. That's the whole your non-negotiable is relocation.
Yes.
Do you recall having 2 long mediations to try to resolve your divorce without a trial?
Yes,
And were those mediations successful?
they were not.
Was Mr. Markel seeking to depose your mother as part of the divorce proceedings?
I don't remember that.
What about your brother Charlie? Did he care about whether you moved to South Florida or not?
I think so. I mean, I think he would have liked for me to be closer to him and have the kids closer to him.
Would it have been okay with him if you had made a decision to stay in Tallahassee?
I would have imagined so, yes.
And after the relocation motion was denied, you were kind of like, well, maybe I have to stay in Tallahassee. Wasn't there at least a moment of that for you?
I mean, it wasn't maybe, that was the court's decision, and I respect the court's decision, and you know, I would make the best of it.
What about Charlie? Was he outraged by the court's decision?
I honestly don't remember him being outraged.
But to your mom, it was a big deal.
My mom was really upset.
Yeah. It was described by your mom in several places as like a life and death proposition. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think my mom thought my life in Tallahassee wasn't good.
Is it true that you never would have left Dan Markel without your mom's suggestions?
Objection, lady.
Overruled, she may answer the question based on her own knowledge.
I would have left Danny regardless of anyone else's input. I was very unhappy.
Did you ever write that you would have never left him without your mom's suggestions?
I don't remember saying that.
Please refer to tab 41 and see if it refreshes your memory.
I do say here I wouldn't have done it on my own.
Okay. Do you specifically reference your mom?
I say my parents and brother's suggestions and support.
Okay.
I think because I wasn't happy, but part of me thought maybe I would just stay until the kids grew up.
Just one moment, I've lost my place a little bit. All right, I think you already testified you did not offer your mom your divorce petition to edit. Is that your testimony?
Sorry,
Did you
What's the
send your
question?
divorce petition to your mother to assist you in editing it?
I don't remember doing it.
Okay, and did your mom also pretend to be you to Mercer University to help you complete your divorce affidavit?
I have no memory of that.
Got a little pop out here of this email from your mom. Obviously, I pretended to be you contacting these financial institutions. Is that something that she would normally do on your behalf? Pose as you?
I had very little understanding or involvement of my financial situation, and so that might have been an account that my dad had created for me or that had like co-signatory authority. So That's possible.
Okay. And here, did you forward a letter that was written on, or sent to you on December 19th of 2013 from Dan Markel, where he was kind of wanting you back and making a lot of concessions? I'll stop coming home late, etc. Do you recall that
I do.
long email? Did you forward that to your mother?
I very well may have.
And do you recall she replied with sort of a paragraph by paragraph breakdown of that, you know, Dan Markel email?
So I see that here. I mean, I certainly didn't remember, but I see that there's a response here.
Okay. I think I've got her responses. Did you respond to her? Very nicely done, Mom. This is great.
It looks like I did, yes.
Okay. And then we go to L. In her responses, I guess they've got a joint email, so how do we know it's Mom and not Dad? Do we?
I don't.
Does Dad send responses like these? This is all the response. Would Harvey detail like that in a response?
No, but it could be that my dad and mom were talking and that she was the scribe, right? That they were, that it reflects both of their thoughts and that my mom's the one writing it.
And many of the emails are signed Mom and Dad, or they reference Dad and I feel this way. Was it common for your mom to express for the two of them a certain position?
Yes.
And in this particular email, so this is a little confusing, but she responds paragraph by paragraph, you know, K3, K5, K6, referencing Dan Markel's email to you and refuting each paragraph. And she felt that his position was outrageous, right?
Yes.
And she thought his religious practices were extreme, didn't she?
She did, yes.
She was extremely concerned about the well-being of the children in reference to his religious practices.
Yes.
She wanted a psychological evaluation of Mr. Markel.
Yes.
He didn't need a psychological evaluation, did he?
Honestly, I don't remember.
Was he an extremely intelligent, accomplished law professor?
Yes.
Did your mom ever call Dan Markel any disparaging names around this time frame?
She did.
Okay, including piece of shit?
Yes.
Asshole?
Yes.
A narcissist?
Yes.
A bully?
Yes.
A bastard?
Yes.
Did your mom help you prepare for your meetings with your divorce lawyer?
My mom offered help, but I don't think I needed help preparing for meetings with my divorce lawyer.
Who was your divorce lawyer?
Kristen Adamson.
Your mom, in an email dated January 9th, 2013, indicates that she thinks the job opportunities that you had in South Florida was a major bargaining chip in your divorce. Did you agree with that?
Did I agree with it at the time?
Yes.
I don't remember.
And she did a lot of work sort of making arguments to that point, didn't she?
I believe so.
And did you forward your correspondence with your lawyer to your mother?
I did.
Publishing 64. I'm gonna skip to J. She wanted to be kept informed, right?
Yes.
Your mom mentions, let's see if I can find it. This is 64G, your South Florida legal team. She will try to remember to discuss things with your South Florida legal team. Who was that?
I think she was jokingly referring to herself.
Oh, she's the South Florida legal team.
I don't know who else it would have been. I think that's why there's a smiley face. I think it was a joke.
Okay. More questions for your upcoming hearing with your attorney. Did you forward your mom's questions or ask your mom's questions when you met with your attorney?
Probably not all of them, but if there was something that I thought was useful, I probably forwarded it or had a conversation about it.
And here you can see in paragraph 2, your mom referred to Dan Markel as Gibbers as well, right?
It was a silly name, yeah.
Alright. Let's go to the order denying your petition to relocate. Was your mom aware that the order was filed?
Yes.
Okay. And this is language from the order denied with prejudice, meaning you can't re-raise it, right?
Right, you can't refile.
And your mom wanted to fight the decision, didn't she?
She did.
Did you feel railroaded by her in this email where she's kind of bullying you to keep fighting?
Objection, Your Honor, the prosecutor is testifying.
Please rephrase your question.
Did you feel railroaded by your mother?
No.
Okay, but she wants you to continue to take action.
It was denied. I wasn't taking any more action.
Not any more legal action.
I was not taking any more action of any kind.
Didn't your mom have some other ideas for some other actions that could happen?
She did.
She did want to take it to an appeal. Do you remember that?
Actually, I don't remember, but
That's on tab 43 of your binder.
yes, I see.
Okay, but she also wanted to develop this plan of action that could be implemented between the time you learned of the relocation denial and your final hearing in court to maybe strong-arm Mr. Markel into agreeing to the relocation. Do you remember that email?
Yes.
Okay, and she had some ideas for how to do that, right?
Yes.
And she said Gibbers hasn't beaten the Adelson family yet. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. So what was her plan of action? What did she suggest you could do to get Dan Markel to relent and let you take his kids to South Florida?
She suggested that I pretend that the boys had become Christian.
Is that something you would ever consider doing?
No.
She was going to pay for them to get instruction on the Christian faith, right?
That was what she said.
And she said she looked into it and she could get him baptized in a couple weeks. Do you remember that?
I don't remember, but I'm sure it's here.
Do you remember her imploring you to put on a good act?
I do.
Did your mom, I don't know, do you have any acting training?
No.
Do you know why your mom would Google how to teach an actress emotion?
I don't know.
Did she ever share with you or forward you any tips on how to bring emotion or fake emotion?
Not that I remember of any kind.
All right. What about a financial offer? Was that part of it as well?
Yes.
What was the financial offer to be?
I think it was $1 million.
Who was going to pay the $1 million?
My mom, my dad, and my brother.
And they were going to pay $1 million. You didn't have to pay any of it?
I don't remember having to pay any of it.
Okay. And they were going to give Dan Markel $1 million for what?
So that I could relocate.
Okay. Did you ever make that offer to Dan Markel?
No.
To your knowledge, did anyone make it to him?
I don't think so.
Would it have worked?
I don't think so.
It's all about getting control from Dan Markel, right?
Yes.
And you told her these ideas were crazy, didn't you?
I did.
I will not be introducing my children to Christianity. I truly believe it will backfire.
Again, Your Honor, the prosecutor is testifying and leading.
As the counsel testifying, sustained, please make sure you're asking open-ended questions to the witness. Ms. Kepperman,
I'm reading from State's Exhibit 64V, which is in evidence.
please proceed.
Did you say it would backfire?
Yes, those are my words.
And what did you mean by backfire?
I don't remember, but I can read there below what I was saying.
Did it have to do with this will give him ammunition to pursue things in court?
I might have meant that at the time.
Did your mom respect your decision not to use her suggestions?
I mean, she had to have, right? I'm a grown-up.
She kept pushing though, didn't she?
She was suggesting other ideas.
Okay, January 27th, 2013 email 64W. Charlie brought up a good point when he said that Americans were dropped behind enemy lines during World War II wearing Nazi uniforms to get what they wanted. They had a job to get done, and they did what they needed to do to accomplish it. You have a job to get done and a very short time frame to accomplish it. If you dressed your kids up in Hitler Youth uniforms and brought them down here, I could care less if it was an act of defiance and would show gibbers that he's not in control. Did she suggest that to you?
Yes.
She urged you to rethink your decision not to implement her suggestions, didn't she?
Yes.
She wanted you to do an act of defiance that will put a scare into this jackass. Why would she want to scare Mr. Markel?
So that he would let me relocate, I guess.
She says here, and I'm still on 64W, I don't know how much of the big picture you're seeing, honey. I don't know if you can realize that not only what you can provide for your boy's life, but for your own life, all depends on this change. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So she did view this as a very serious matter, right?
Yes.
And she's sending all of this after the relocation is denied, right?
Yes.
Everyone has a price. Fight for yourself. Okay, I'm showing you this slide also from Exhibit 64W, which indicates that you were going to go into the $1 million offer as a third. Does that refresh your memory on that deal?
I mean, it refreshes my memory, but it's not something I ever considered or thought about doing.
So you would not have paid up the
No.
third of $1 million?
No.
Moving on to 64X. This is an email in which your mom expresses opinions on several items, including the marital home, the parenting schedule, alimony, child support, health insurance. Did you want her opinion on all these things?
I mean, I don't remember, but I think we always want our parents' opinion on things, even if we don't take it.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I can't hear.
Please restate your answer.
Counselor asked me if I wanted my mom's opinion on those things, and it's hard for me to remember at the time if I wanted other opinions, but I said, I guess, people always want their parents' opinions on things.
And your mother's opinion was that she wanted you to aggravate your ex-husband, right?
Yes.
To screw him financially,
Yes.
to get a win.
Yes.
She thought your divorce was something to be won, right?
It seems that way.
When was the divorce final?
It would have been final the summer of 2013.
July 31st of 13, sound right?
Yes, ma'am.
And we saw that that was the date for your trial. Did a trial take place?
Yes.
Okay. With witnesses being called?
No, there weren't any witnesses.
Okay, so it was a settlement.
Yes.
And did you reach the settlement on the day that the trial was supposed to be conducted?
I think maybe the day before.
Okay. I want to ask you some questions about voice authentication. Your cell phone, was it collected by police in this case?
I gave the police my cell phone to search.
Let them download it and return it to you, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And are you familiar with a wiretap that was conducted in this case?
I've seen a lot of wires.
Where phone calls were intercepted by the police and recorded by the police?
Yes.
And were you asked to listen to a disc of calls to see if you could authenticate the voices on those
Yes.
discs? Okay. And were you able to authenticate some of the voices on there?
I was able to authenticate the voices of my family.
All right, so Charlie Adelson, Donna Adelson, Harvey Adelson.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and did you initial on State's Exhibit 135 by each of those voices that you were able to authenticate?
I did.
Certainly can't read this, but
It's very small.
see if that's
Yes.
That's where you initialed, okay.
I did.
This time I'd ask to introduce State's Exhibit 135.
Any objection?
Has it been entered?
I'm asking if there's an objection
No
to the
objection.
defense. States 135 is entered.
After the divorce was final, Was there any more litigation between you and Dan Markel?
There was.
All right, and who was the first one to file something after the divorce was final?
I don't remember who was first to file.
Because you both filed some things afterwards, right?
Well, Danny was supposed to pay me for the deal with our settlement was I was supposed to take my name off the title to the house, and he was supposed to pay me half the value of the house. So I went that first week and took my name off the title and then just waited. And when I reached out, when it was time for him to pay what he owed, he said, "I'm not going to pay it." And I asked why, and he said, "I have my reasons." And so my attorney had to file to enforce the settlement agreement because otherwise he was going to be held in contempt of court.
The court had given him a deadline to make the payment, and he didn't make it.
He didn't make it.
So you filed a motion to enforce,
The settlement agreement.
and he filed a counter motion saying, well, I'm not paying because she's in violation for all these different things. Remember that?
I do, and then he accused my attorney of committing fraud.
Right. One of his big complaints was failure to facilitate the communication agreement, where I guess you all had some type of agreement to provide Skype calls with the kids to each other when you didn't have the children. Do you remember him complaining about that?
I do. I remember if I was 1 minute late, he would contact the parenting coordinator and complain that I was in violation.
That was a pretty regular complaint of his in this era of these filings, wasn't it?
Yes.
And when he sent an email, for example, 64N, let's see if we have that. Alleging these sorts of violations and including, quote, accusing you and your mother of making zero efforts to facilitate communication between he and the kids. Did you forward this email to your mother?
I don't remember if I did or not.
And during this time period, did Dan Markel send you quite a few emails pleading with you to play nice? For example, March 7th of 2013, Wendi, I really regret that things have gotten to the place where they are. Do you think we could try to resolve more issues directly with each other to prevent so much of the unnecessary tension and cost? Things like that.
Yes.
Okay. But then you didn't seem to be able to actually play nice with each other, even though it seems like maybe that's both what you wanted, at least at certain points.
I was always trying to play nice.
Well, you were threatening to hold him in contempt of court.
I wasn't threatening to hold him in contempt. That's what my lawyer filed. That's what happens
Well,
when
your
you...
lawyer represents you, doesn't she, Mrs. Adelson?
She does, but I wasn't threatening him.
Did you cease all Skype communication between Dan Markel and the boys on March 12th of 2013?
I don't remember that, no.
Tab 54, please.
It looks like my attorney advised me to do that.
Did you cease all Skype conversations between Dan Markel and the boys?
Again, I don't remember. It's been a very long time. But if my attorney advised me to do it, then I probably did it.
Okay. And the day that you filed that motion to enforce the marital settlement agreement and hold Dan Markel in contempt, see if I can find that. What was the date of that filing?
It looks like it was October 31st, 2013.
Was that the same date that you backed out of the contract to buy a house here in Tallahassee?
I don't remember if it was the same date, but at that point I didn't have the money I needed to buy the house because Danny didn't pay what he was supposed to.
Okay, but you don't remember which day you backed out of buying the house?
I don't.
Could it have been the same day that this was filed? Halloween of 13.
It may have been.
Okay, and was it Charlie, your brother, who talked you out of buying the house?
No, I didn't have the money to buy the house.
So you don't remember him discussing that with you?
No.
Okay. And did your mom have a position one way or the other on whether you would buy the house?
I don't remember.
The image that I just had up there, was this image sent to you on October 31st? How did this get onto your cell phone dated October 31st?
It looks like something my brother would have sent me at some point. I don't remember if it was what day it was, but I remember seeing that picture.
Okay, do you have any reason to dispute the metadata associated with it on your phone?
No, ma'am.
Okay, and you recognize your brother in this photo?
I do.
And who's the woman he's pictured with here?
Katie.
Is that Catherine Magbanoa?
Yes.
So did your brother at any time send you this picture? Not at any time. Did your brother on October 31st send you this picture and basically tell you not to buy the house because you weren't going to be living in Tallahassee much longer?
I don't remember him ever telling me not to buy the house or that I wasn't going to be living in Tallahassee. I really wanted to buy that house.
Do you remember, after all the drama with the Skype, asking your mom, let's see if I can find it here, to help you work on the Skype thing because it was becoming a real problem between you and Mr. Markel?
I honestly don't remember, but I see this email and I must have sent this.
And then a few months later, in February of 14, Mr. Markel files a motion to enforce marital settlement agreements, and that we've touched on that already. That was alleging that you committed fraud on the court during the original settlement. Remember that?
I do. I remember him saying that my attorney helped perpetrate a fraud.
He did. He suggested that the court should send a strong message to you about your malfeasance by awarding him the entirety of the assets that he alleged were undisclosed. Do you remember that?
I do.
And did your mom view that filing?
I don't remember.
Isn't that the one she responded to? We need a plan of attack. We need to aggravate him the way he's trying to aggravate you.
I remember we just looked at that. I just didn't remember what it was in response to.
Okay. And did you respond to his allegations?
I would
In
have,
court, in a court filing?
we must have responded in a court filing to that.
Okay.
Because if someone accuses you of fraud, at that point my attorney had to recuse herself because she had to become a witness in the case and to say that that didn't happen. And then I had to find a new attorney to represent me.
Okay, and did you do a filing in response to his counter motion to enforce the marital settlement agreement, alleging, and this is page 439 for court and counsel, that a vast majority of the former husband's motion contains allegations that are redundant, immaterial, impertinent, and scandalous? That sort of language, does that sound familiar?
It doesn't actually sound familiar, but I would have responded in a motion, so I'm sure my attorney filed something.
Did your mom move around this time?
I don't think so.
Do you remember your parents signing a lease at a place called the Continuum?
My parents were spending some time there on the weekends, but they didn't move until 2015 when I was clerking for a judge at that time.
All right, so they signed a lease to have sort of a weekend property. Was that in South Beach?
Yes.
Okay, and that does March of 14 sound right for that?
I don't remember when they signed a lease there, but it's possible.
Well, when you ultimately left Tallahassee, which we'll get to, did you go to live at the Continuum or at Coral Springs or somewhere else?
In Miami at the Continuum.
And do you know why they chose to move into the Continuum? I mean, this is about 3-4 months before the murder.
My brother had a girlfriend that lived there, and he really liked the property, and he thought maybe my parents might like to retire there. So he was suggesting that they start trying someplace other than Coral Springs to retire.
And did your mom add you as a resident to the Continuum on May 16th of 2014?
I don't remember that, but the Continuum, the apartment complex, had very high security, and so it may have been that if you wanted someone to come and not be considered a guest, they had to be considered a resident.
Okay, tab 95, please. And the question is, would you have been considered a resident as of May 16th of 2014?
And I don't know, so you want me to see whether on this document I was added as a resident?
Yes, ma'am.
It looks like I was added and my brother were added, and then my other brother was the in case of emergency, and it was in April of 2014.
April of 2014. Okay, so about 3 months before the murder?
Yes,
And that was just so that you could come and go whenever you were visiting?
that was my understanding.
Do you recall a motion being filed by Dan Markel that we've referred to as the grandma motion?
No.
Did Dan Markel in March 26th of 2014 file a motion seeking to preclude your mother from having unsupervised contact with your kids?
I don't remember him filing that motion, but it sounds like if it's a motion you have a name for, then it exists.
And in that motion, do you recall, or does it refresh your memory, that he was saying, Grandma, the boys were telling him, Grandma says you're stupid, Grandma says she hates you, and as a result, he was concerned about your mom alienating the kids or turning the kids against him?
I remember hearing about this motion.
Okay. And that is a motion that was never got to be heard, right?
That was part of the motion to enforce the settlement agreement.
But which was never heard?
Which was never heard.
Because he was killed.
Because, yes.
And do you remember why you didn't forward your mom the actual motion that was filed in reference to that?
I don't.
Okay, if you will check tab, see if you can find tab 98 in the back there, please.
I have tab 98.
Okay, does it refresh your recollection as to the question, which is, where was your mom on the day that the relocation was filed, which for your reference was 3/26/14.
So this email is from 3/25/14, and it looks like my parents were coming up. It says coming on Thursday, and this was written Tuesday the 25th, so my guess is that they were coming on Thursday the 27th.
And was it their practice to typically stop in Orlando and spend the night on the trip up to Tallahassee?
I don't remember.
Okay. The allegations that are laid out in Dan Markel's motion were sent to you in an email before the motion was ever filed. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that, no.
In Publishing 64AA, a December 16th, 2013 email. This email indicates that Dan Markel is going to be introducing a major issue, grandparental alienation. This will be part of our ongoing effort to resolve outstanding issues, but basically at the bottom there, Ben announced to me Abba. What does Abba mean?
It's Abba. It means father in Hebrew.
Father. Grandma says you're stupid. Okay, and he details a couple, I think it's 3 different instances in which his boys have told him that Grandma, your mother, has told them that you're trying to take my sunshines away, she hates you, that sort of thing. Does this refresh your memory at all about those allegations?
It does.
Okay. And this email, you did forward this email to your mother. Do you recall that?
I don't recall that, but it makes sense that I would have.
And your mom responded to it, or someone responded to it, wow. Do you remember that?
I was shown that email yesterday.
Okay. And you forwarded that email not only to your mom, but to a total of 12 different people. Do you remember that?
I remember being very surprised that he was trying to accuse a member of the Florida bar of fraud and going to all these lengths to avoid paying money that he owed me.
Okay. And is that the reason why you sent it to the 12 people?
It was pretty shocking what he was doing.
Did your mom respond at all to that allegation regarding her alienating the kids?
I don't remember a response other than the one I was shown that said wow, but I don't know if that was my dad responding or my mom responding.
But the allegation was in reference to your mom, right?
The allegation was in reference to my mom.
Okay. And in fact, the next day, because the parenting coordinator was in on the original thread, you forwarded the email a second time to your mom, didn't you, with the parenting coordinator's response? Do you remember that?
I don't remember that, but it makes sense that I would have forwarded it.
Do you remember just, let's see, a couple months before the death of Dan Markel, saying to a friend of yours, I think her name is Jane, does that sound familiar?
I had a friend named Jane.
Telling Jane, quote, Danny is a monster?
All of these questions are leading, Your Honor.
Overrule, the witness may testify based on her memory.
I don't remember telling Jane that I thought Danny was a monster.
Okay, was Jane one of the people you forwarded the email to? Dan's email?
I don't remember.
Okay. But it was the same day that you called him a monster. Do you remember that?
I don't.
I want to talk a little bit about your brother, Charlie. Judge, I don't know if you're wanting a recess, this is a good time. It's getting a little tedious, I'm sure. Right here.
Everyone can be seated. Ms. Kappelman, you may resume with your examination of the witness.
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Adelson, I want to ask you a little bit about your brother, Charlie Adelson. How is he older or younger than you?
I'm the youngest of the 3 children, so both my brothers are older than me.
How much older than you is Charlie?
He's 2.5 years older.
And in the time frame 2013 to 2014, how much time were you spending with Charlie Adelson?
I don't remember spending a lot of time with him. I was in Tallahassee most of the time, and he was in South Florida most of the time.
Did you speak with Charlie regularly during that time?
We did.
What type of lifestyle did your brother have around the time frame 2014 to 2016?
My brother was a single guy. He was dating lots of people. He worked really hard till early in the morning till late at night, sometimes 6 or 7 days a week.
Worked hard, played hard?
Yeah, I think that was kind of his lifestyle.
Did he like nice things?
He
Fancy
did.
cars?
He liked nice cars. He liked nice food.
Okay. Did you, during the phone conversations you had with your brother during that time, did you talk much about your marital problems?
I mean, to be honest, I don't remember, but I'm sure we talked about it.
Is it fair to say during the year or so leading up to Mr. Markel's murder that your brother did not like him?
I think that's fair to say.
Did your brother joke about hiring a hitman to kill Dan Markel?
He did make that joke.
What was the joke specifically?
My brother had bought me a TV as a divorce present, and he would make the joke that the TV was cheaper than hiring a hitman.
Did you ever tell Jeffrey Lacasse about that joke?
I may have mentioned that joke to Jeff Lacasse.
Who is that?
Jeff Lacasse was someone that I dated after Danny and I got divorced.
Had he met your parents?
I think he may have met them once,
Did
but
you-
not in any kind of formal way. Just my parents were visiting and he might have said hi, something like that.
Did your parents express any opinion about him, whether they liked him or not?
I don't remember them really taking notice of him.
Do you remember sending a text back in on May 28th of 2014 that saying, quote, "My parents are not into him," referring to Jeff?
I don't remember sending that text.
On the morning of the murder, did you have an appointment at your residence on Aqua Ridge?
I did.
What was the nature of that appointment?
I had an appointment with the Geek Squad. There were some vertical lines on the TV. I didn't know if maybe one of my kids had tapped it or touched it, but it wasn't working. And so I had an appointment, and they were scheduled to come sometime between 8 and 12.
And was that the TV that was the same TV that your brother joked he got you as a divorce present because it was cheaper than hiring a hitman?
Yes.
Okay. And on the morning of the murder, did your mom text you about the TV repair guy being on the way or coming to your house?
She did. I didn't buy the TV, and the TV had an insurance policy that came with the Geek Squad help. So I think they reached out to her first, and then she let me know that they were coming.
The TV was under warranty, right?
I believe so.
But the damage that you had was not covered by the warranty, was it?
I don't think so.
Okay, and do you recall how long the TV repairman was at your house?
I don't. It was a reasonable amount of time, so maybe an hour or so.
And why did it take an hour to determine that the TV couldn't be repaired or was not under warranty?
I don't know. I don't know a lot about AV equipment.
And the TV repair guy, well, I guess I should ask, were you upset, crying and upset during the time that the TV repairman was there?
I don't think so.
Were you particularly upset about the TV, the fact that the TV couldn't be repaired?
I don't think so.
Okay, so the TV guy, to your recollection, didn't actually do anything. He didn't fix the TV, he didn't take it away, he didn't bring you a new one.
No, he was trying to fix it. I mean, I think he was trying to assess what the problem was and if it could be fixed, but it wasn't taken away.
The problem was like an impact to the screen, right?
It seemed to be that, yeah.
Okay. Did you go to a dinner after the murder of Dan Markel in which you vomited at the table?
It was several weeks until I felt ready to leave my apartment. I was very, very scared.
So that happened?
It did happen.
Okay, and that was in a restaurant, right?
Mm-hmm. It was at a restaurant.
Who was present at that dinner?
It was my brother and me.
And where was the dinner?
It
South
was
Florida or here? Or
It was
somewhere
South
else?
Florida.
Okay, and you said it was several weeks after the murder?
I believe so.
Had you ever heard Charlie, your brother, refer to that dinner as a celebratory dinner?
Only in previous trials, but never to me personally.
Did you hear him say it the night that you had the dinner or after that?
No,
That you threw up at the celebration?
no.
Do you know Catherine Magbanoa?
I met her on 2 occasions.
Okay, do you have an independent friendship with her or did you just meet her through your brother?
I just met her through my brother.
Who was she to Charlie?
She was a person that he had dated.
Was she a serious girlfriend?
I didn't think so.
Okay. Did he have a lot of girlfriends that kind of came and went?
He had a lot of girlfriends, and they all looked somewhat similar.
Okay. I'm going to show you what's... One moment, Your Honors. Show you what I marked as 35. Recognize States 35?
I do.
How do you recognize it?
This was a visit. I went to the beach with Catherine and a friend of hers for about an hour.
Catherine Magbanoa?
Yes.
All right, and when was this photograph taken?
It was Father's Day weekend of June 2014.
So just about a month before the murder?
Yes.
And was this the first time you'd ever met Catherine Magbanoa?
It was the second time. The first time was at a dinner with my brother and with Jeff Lacasse when I was running an alternative spring break. I came down to visit.
Is that the dinner at Yardbird?
Yes.
Okay, we'll get back to that. So this was the second meeting?
Yes.
All right, Judge, move to introduce State's Exhibit 35.
Any objection?
No objection.
States 35 is admitted.
Publishing States 35. Which one is Catherine Magbanoa?
She's on the left with the white top.
Okay, and that's you in the center there?
That's me in the middle.
And this photograph, was it taken near your parents' residence in
It
South
was.
Beach?
Mm-hmm. Very close.
During that trip, were there any conversations with Catherine Magbanoa or your brother or your mother about the murder?
No.
Is Catherine Magbanoa the girlfriend that your brother had in this time frame leading up to the murder?
I believe so, but he had multiple girlfriends, so I don't know if she was the only one.
Okay, but that's definitely the one that you interacted with the month before.
Yes, ma'am.
Did anything stand out to you about this particular girl as being, you know, the one or special or different from the parade of girlfriends that
No.
Charlie had? Did your brother have girlfriends after this woman, Magbanoa?
Yes.
Okay, including, do you remember a Whitney?
I do remember Whitney.
And then there was June Mchinda,
Yes, I remember June.
a June Co, I think.
I remember Junko.
Okay. Prior to Dan Markel's murder, was this image taken at your trip to South Beach that was most recent before the murder?
No,
So you went down another time between this trip and the murder.
I did. I went down for my dad's birthday.
And when was that?
It would have been, his birthday was on July 5th. And so I was down, I don't remember the exact amount of time, but maybe 7 or 10 days over July 4th and for his birthday, and then went back to Tallahassee.
Did you run into Catherine Magbanoa at all on that trip?
I don't think so.
Any discussion with any members of your family about the murder on that trip?
No,
It was your dad's 70th birthday, right?
it was.
And was there a party?
We had a party.
Okay. Was that friends, family, both?
It was friends and family.
And I think, is this the trip that we were talking about earlier where your parents had come to Tallahassee to fetch you and take you down south?
Yes.
Was there any discussion on that trip about any other relocation strategies?
I don't have any memory of that.
Like bribing, converting to Christianity, any of those things?
It had been, I think, about a year since.
Since those were first broached.
Right, but I'm just saying by that time it was the summer of 2014. I don't remember any kind of conversation like that.
Okay. Was there any discussion on that trip of the pending motion that included precluding your mom from having unsupervised visits with your boys?
No.
Do you remember the time frame that the repairman was at your house on the morning of the murder?
I remember more or less. I feel like he came, I think he was supposed to come sometime between 8 and 12, and he came on the early side. Because I just remember being surprised and trying to get dressed really fast.
Okay, and Dan Markel was killed between 8 and 12, right? We
He
know
was.
that now. Who paid the repairman that came to your house?
I think he was under contract,
Mhm.
so I don't have a strong memory of that, but I don't remember paying him. It's
Okay.
possible that I did.
I'm going to ask you a few more questions about Mr. Lacasse. You said you might have mentioned the joke to him about TV's cheaper than a hitman. Did you ever use the term TV as code for the murder in any context?
No.
Did you ever hear your mom do that other than the recordings in this case?
No.
So she didn't talk to you about the TV?
No.
Did you see Mr. Lacasse, and you said that was somebody that you had been dating around the time of the murder, is that right?
We had broken up just before that week that Danny was killed.
All right. Did you have an occasion to see him on July 13th of 2014, so just about a week before the murder at your residence?
I don't remember him being at
that?
my residence, but I do remember seeing him around that time.
Okay. And on July 13th, 2014, do you remember asking to share something in confidence with Mr. Lacasse?
I don't remember doing that.
Did you tell Mr. Lacasse, in the context of if something were to happen to Danny, I could move back to Miami, did you tell Lacasse that regarding the relocation battle in the summer of 2013, Charlie had, seriously, not as a joke, explored all options to resolve the problem, including hiring a hitman?
I did not have that conversation with Jeff Lacasse.
And I think you said the week before, but wasn't it actually about, I think it was 4 days before the murder, you sent an email to Mr. Lacasse? Do you remember that email, bump in the road?
I remember telling him I didn't want to have contact with him anymore. I don't remember exactly what date I sent it, but whatever date Sunday or Monday of that week would have been around when I sent it.
this refresh your memory at all?
It does.
Okay. And so you weren't officially breaking up with him so much as asking for a certain period of time without contact, is that right?
That sounds right.
Okay, and then your plan was to reach back out to him and figure things out one way or the other?
I mean, I think I was breaking up with him, but I have a strong aversion to conflict, so this was probably my way of not breaking up with him without breaking up with him.
Okay. And I want to go back to the day of the murder. We know about the TV repairman left about, did you say about 9?
The truth is I don't really remember, but something like 9 or 10.
Definitely before 10 or by 10?
Yes, that's my best memory.
All right, where did you go after the TV? Where was the next place you went after the TV repairman left?
So I was home, I think, for a couple of hours first. I was doing a little bit of work. I was talking to some friends. I think I ate breakfast. And then I left probably close to noon or a little bit after noon. I was meeting 2 friends who I would frequently meet on a Friday to have lunch with. And so I went to run a few quick errands and then meet them for lunch.
And on your way to meet the friends, did you have an occasion to go down Trescott?
I was trying to turn down Trescott. That's where I used to turn and take just the road I was used to. But there was yellow tape up. And so when I tried to turn, I couldn't turn. So I made a 3-point turn and kept going on Centerville.
And so you encountered a police roadblock at that location?
Yes.
Okay, couldn't go any further because there was a police car and some yellow tape, right?
Right.
And that was, you were able to see that from the intersection there, or you actually turned onto Trescott?
I tried to turn and then I couldn't go through, so I turned around and kept going.
How far down Trescott did you proceed before you turned around?
Just until the tape.
Okay. Which one of you or your ex-husband had the kids the night before he was killed?
The night before, they were with Danny.
All right, so it was his responsibility to take them to preschool that morning?
Yes.
Who was supposed to pick them up from preschool that day?
I was supposed to pick them up.
Had you talked to Dan Markel or your children that morning before you encountered the roadblock?
I hadn't talked to the boys because I wouldn't have talked to them, they didn't have cell phones, they were little. So I only would have spoken to them if I had gone to the preschool and seen them, but I didn't do that. So I hadn't talked to the boys. I'm sorry, what was the second part of the question?
How about Dan? Did you speak to him that morning?
We didn't. We had plans to talk. We had traded some text messages and emails, and then I called him and he didn't pick up, and that was the last contact.
Did you attempt to call Dan Markel when you encountered the roadblock?
No.
Did you attempt to call your kids' daycare after encountering the roadblock?
No.
Did you notify anyone that you observed the roadblock?
I was talking on the phone at the time, so I may have said to the person I was talking to, oh, I'm trying to drive, but I have to turn around, hold on.
Okay, that was probably a bad question. Did you attempt to investigate in any way or ask anyone what the roadblock was about?
I wasn't concerned about the roadblock.
Was Mr. Markel scheduled to leave town the day after he was killed?
I don't remember if he was scheduled to leave town on Friday afternoon or on Saturday morning, but I know that he would go to New York every time he had a chance, and I think that was where he was going. But I don't know when he was leaving.
Okay, if you'll take a look at, not the binder we've been using, but the other binder, should have your law enforcement interview on the front.
Okay.
And I would just ask you to review page 159, lines 10 and 11. I think it's the very, are you able to find it?
Sorry, he had plans to be out of town. He was leaving on Saturday.
Okay.
So it looks like I knew that he was leaving Saturday.
All right. And you knew he was planning to go to New York?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know how if the killers knew that he was leaving town the next day, do you know how that information got to them?
I don't.
Did your brother Charlie know that information?
I don't
To your
know if
knowledge.
I don't know if he knew that information.
Did your mother know that information?
My mom usually knew our schedule, so she probably would have known that I was going to have the boys. I don't know if that means she knew he was going to be out of town, but she would have known that I had the boys.
And didn't your mom keep meticulous track of every time that Dan went out of town?
Maybe just in the sense that if Danny was out of town, she thought maybe I needed extra help or something. So yes, probably.
And when that became an issue in the divorce, she was able to send you a record going all the way back to 2010, a couple of years of every single date he was out of town. Do you remember that email?
My mom never switched over to like a Google Calendar, so she would keep very meticulous, like a calendar of all the things she had to do, and so that was just her way of keeping track of everything, not just this, but every part of life.
She's very detail oriented,
Yes.
even regarding things that aren't necessarily her business, or do you think that Dan's travel plans were somehow her business?
I think only to the extent that it impacted whether I had the boys or whether they were coming to visit or what that looked like.
Okay. Did Mr. Markel leave you a message on the morning of his murder?
He did.
Okay, and did he indicate on that message that he was going to the gym that morning?
He did.
And specifically, did it tell you he'd be at the gym between 9:15 and 10:30?
I don't remember, but that sounds about right.
All right, and would he have given you that much detail because you were planning to try to touch base to talk, right?
Yeah, we were trying to have a conversation.
And was the conversation something about one of the children's schooling?
It was.
Did you talk to your brother Charlie on the morning of the murder?
I did.
And does an 18-minute conversation at 9:30 a.m. that day sound correct?
It does.
Do you remember the nature of that conversation?
I do. I didn't purchase the TV, so I didn't know how much the TV cost. And so I called him to find out if it made more sense to get the TV repaired or buy a new TV, because I didn't know what the delta was there.
Okay. Can you tell the jury one way or the other for sure whether you mentioned Dan Markel's travel plans to Charlie during that 18-minute phone call?
I can't say for sure, but I don't see why I would have brought it up.
Did you have WhatsApp on your phone at that time?
I did.
What is WhatsApp?
WhatsApp is it's a phone service. It's an app that I use when I talk to people who live in other countries. So it's become very popular. I think I had it at the time. I know I certainly have it now. But it's a device to send messages.
During the time frame that we're talking about, which is around the time of the murder, did you communicate with any of your family members through WhatsApp?
I don't remember using WhatsApp unless they were traveling internationally, because it's a way of making free calls or free texts when, at that time, making long distance calls on a regular phone would have been very expensive.
Did you ever communicate with Catherine Magbanua through WhatsApp?
I don't remember ever texting her on any platform.
Okay. Did you have any other encrypted platforms on your phone at that time?
At that time, I don't think so. I don't know what existed at that time.
Okay. So after you turned around and did not proceed down Trescott, you went, I think, to the liquor store. Can you tell us about that?
Sure. I was invited to a Stock the Bar party for that night for a friend's daughter. And so they asked for a specific type of bourbon. I'm not a bourbon drinker, so I went to the liquor store and I showed them the invitation, which was shaped like the kind of bourbon they wanted us to buy, and asked if they had that, and they did, and I bought it.
All right, and that type of bourbon was Bullet bourbon?
That's right.
And do you recall the time of that purchase?
I don't, but I see a receipt here at 12:49.
Okay, and does that fit with your memory? You left the house around, I think you said afternoon, proceeded to the scene, encountered the tape, and then went to the liquor store, right?
I proceeded to drive to the liquor store. I saw tape and turned around. And then I bought the bourbon that they asked for at 12:49, and then I may have gotten gas after that, and then I drove to lunch.
And lunch was where law enforcement came in and encountered you?
That's right.
Okay, and that was where you were having lunch with a couple friends?
That's right.
Did you relocate to South Florida after Mr. Markel's death?
In terms of relocation, I did leave Tallahassee after the funeral, but I took a weekender for both the boys and me and thought I would be back pretty quickly.
Did you come back?
I did come back a few times, but
Just to get things though, right?
not really to get things. I came back a couple of times to give a talk or to do some work, but
Okay.
or
But
to
what I'm interested in is where were you living after the murder?
I wasn't living in Tallahassee.
All right. Did you recall on the trip to South Florida, just within 48 hours of the shooting, getting a call from Craig Isom?
Yes.
Okay. And what happened with that call?
I talked to him for a while. He mentioned that he might want to have DNA samples of the kids. We were already halfway down. We'd been in the car for about 4 hours with the boys.
Who's
and
the we in that sentence?
I was with my parents
Okay.
and the kids.
Yep.
We talked, the call broke up, and he never followed up.
Was it like a, you're breaking up?
I told him I was having a hard time hearing.
But were you faking that or was it really breaking up?
I was not faking that.
And did you send your lawyer to him after that, shortly after that?
I told him he could talk to my lawyer. He never followed up.
Were you happy to be out of Tallahassee when you were able to return to South Florida?
No, I was not happy.
Did you send a text message on January 1st of 2016 that's contrary to that?
At that point, it would have been a year and a half after I'd been living somewhere else, so I don't know what text message you're referring to, but
But at that point, you were happy to be out of Tallahassee?
it's not a question of happy to be out of Tallahassee. I was trying to build a new life for myself, and I didn't feel safe here anymore.
All right, let's take a look at tab 96, please.
96 in the old one or the new one?
The old one, please.
Okay. Okay, I see it, but it says unknown, so I don't know who I'm talking to.
But that's not the question. The question is, did you say, so happy I don't live there? And the person says, I bet it's a shithole. Remember that?
I don't remember this, no, but I do see that I said it. I don't know who I'm talking to here, and
Would it surprise you to learn you were speaking to your brother, Charlie Adelson?
I don't know if it would surprise me. So, no.
Okay, Judge, may we approach it this time?
may continue with your examination.
Ma'am, did you change your children's names after Dan Markel was killed?
About a year after I did.
In what way did you change their names?
I changed their last name and I changed my older son's middle name
Okay. And you changed their last name from Markel to what?
to mine.
Adelson.
Mhm.
I'm going to start by asking you about this email dated July 3rd, 2014. What is this?
This is the, it looks like an electronic invitation for my dad's 70th birthday.
An Evite, right?
Yes.
And who sent the invitation to you?
Well, it looks like it's through the postmark.
I mean, who sent the party invitations out?
I don't remember if I helped with the Evite or if my mom did it. So I don't know if I sent it to myself or if it's from my mom.
Would you have sent it to yourself?
I'm a little better with tech stuff than my parents, so I might have helped them put together an Evite.
Okay.
I don't
well,
remember.
Who does it say is the host of the party?
Oh, my mom's the host. You asked who sent the email, and I didn't remember. But my mom is the host of the party for my
Okay.
dad.
And to whom is the party invitation sent?
It's sent to me and my two children.
Okay. And this was sent on July 3rd, 2014, before the murder, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then back up just a little bit here. This email, do you recognize this one? Are you able to read it okay on your screen?
I can read it okay.
All right. Who sent this email?
This is from, it says my mom, but it says Harvey Adelson. So again, I don't know which parent it's from.
Okay. If it was from Harvey Adelson, would he say Lincoln is going to be attending Shabbat with his grandpa, Harvey Adelson?
I mean, it seems more likely somebody else would have written with his grandpa, but I don't know. I kind of write those things sometimes, like Lincoln will attend something with his mom and say my name. I know it's awkward to say it in the third person, but I don't think it's impossible.
Okay. But this reference to Lincoln Adelson did happen prior to the legal name change, correct?
Yes. No, I from the beginning, I was scared when I put them in school, and so I didn't legally change their name until a year after, but I was socially using my name for them.
And did that start as soon as their dad was killed?
No, it started when I had to register them for school.
Okay. And your mom helped with the registrations as well, didn't she?
I think I did the registrations myself.
What about here for flag football? Did your mom assist with that?
It looks like she did. There were some after-school activities.
Okay, and she registered your child under the last name Adelson, right?
Yes.
Where was Dan Markel buried?
In Toronto.
Were you or your children in attendance at his funeral?
No.
When was the last time you spoke to your mother, Donna Adelson, as we sit here today?
November of 2023.
Okay, and so she hasn't given you any information or advice about how to testify in court, has
No,
she?
ma'am. No.
What about, you did offer testimony in November of 2023 as well, right, on a related case?
Yes,
Okay,
October.
And did your mom, when you spoke to her in November of 2023, offer you any advice or thoughts about how you should act or behave or what you should say in court?
Yes,
She did.
she did.
And what was that?
I can't tell you I remember exactly, but she was hoping I would be supportive of my brother.
Okay, and do you know what her thoughts were afterwards?
I do.
Okay, and what were they?
She was devastated.
She didn't feel you were supportive.
No.
Were you in any way involved in the plot to kill your ex-husband?
No.
Did you maybe know it was going to happen but not know the details?
I did not know it was going to happen, and I did not know any details.
Did you provide any information, even unknowingly in hindsight, that you think could have been used to assist the murderers?
I don't think so. I didn't provide any information.
What information do you have regarding your mother's involvement in the plot to kill your ex-husband?
I don't have information.
But you do admit that your brother said he looked into hiring a hitman to kill Dan Markel.
I don't. I admit that my brother made a tasteless joke repeatedly about buying me a TV because it was cheaper than hiring a hitman.
But then someone did hire a hitman who did kill Dan Markel, right?
Yes, that happened.
Was part of the plot to kill your ex for you to have plausible deniability or to know very little about it?
I was not involved in any plot to kill Danny.
Were you shielded from the plot because, I don't know, you couldn't be trusted to keep a secret?
I was not involved in any plot to kill Danny.
Why did you tell investigator Isom in your law enforcement interview that you were worried the police, or you were worried, I guess, in the police car on the way to be interviewed, that you might be considered a suspect?
Because I couldn't think of anything bad going on in his life other than the divorce. And frequently the ex-wife is a suspect.
Were you treated as a suspect?
I was not.
But you mentioned 9 times in your law enforcement interview being a suspect, didn't you?
I did, yes.
When you were approached at the restaurant, you weren't yet told that this was a shooting, were you?
I was not.
You were only told something happened with your ex-husband.
I don't even know if I was told that. I was very scared something happened to my kids, and that's why law enforcement was there, and they wouldn't tell me what was going on.
But they did reassure you that the kids were fine. You remember
They told me that law enforcement officers were with the children, which terrified me because I didn't know why my children would need law enforcement officers.
So you didn't know what this was about at all when you were in the police car?
In the car, they told me.
Okay, in the car they told you what?
They said, your ex-husband has been shot.
Okay. So that, you learned that information prior to getting into the interview room?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember allowing law enforcement to take possession of your computer in that interview?
I told law enforcement to search my phone, search my computer, search my house, search my car. I was trying to be helpful.
Do you remember saying that it was okay for them to take the computer and keep it even though you had work things on there because you didn't think you would be going back to work?
I remember thinking it wasn't important. I couldn't imagine. My life fell apart.
But you didn't go back to work, did you, at FSU?
I did actually go back, not physically present, but I was still on the FSU payroll until December of that year.
Okay. In that interview with law enforcement, did you suggest that your parents are people who may have been angry enough to kill Dan Markel?
I suggested a lot of people who could have been angry enough to kill Danny.
And were some of the people my parents?
Yes.
But you said in the interview that you didn't think they were capable of it, didn't you?
I did.
If your mom wasn't capable of it, did she have anyone that she could enlist to assist her?
I don't know.
What was your first thought when you were asked if anyone might have murdered Dan Markel for your benefit?
I thought maybe a crazed friend or a former student.
It's not what you said, though, is it?
I don't remember exactly what I said first.
You said Charlie, right?
If that's what I said, then you have it there, but I don't remember who I listed first.
Okay, can you at least tell the jury you definitely did say Charlie as one of those people?
I did.
Do you remember saying, if somebody tried to kill my ex-husband, they should be prosecuted to the full extent of the law?
Yes.
And Isom says, regardless of who it is, and do you recall your answer?
I do recall my answer.
What was that?
I think I was hoping it wasn't anyone in my family, and so that idea that it was someone in my family gave me pause.
All right, but that wasn't your answer, was it?
I mean, I don't remember word for word what I
Okay.
said, but that was my sentiment at the time.
Was your answer for court and counsel, this is law enforcement interview page 122, lines 7 through 12. If somebody tried to kill my ex-husband, they should be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. Question, regardless of who it is. Answer, I mean, it would be different if I thought it were my brother. Did you call your mom from the interview room at Tallahassee Police Department?
I did.
And did she answer the phone?
She did.
When she answered, did she advise you that your dad was in the shower?
I don't remember whether my dad was in the shower.
You asked her to sit down, do you remember that?
I do.
Right. And by asking her to sit down, would that signify to her that this was going to be something serious you were going to reveal or say?
I was concerned about her age and if she were standing that she could, hurt herself if she fell down.
Okay. And do you recall that she at that point asked if she could put you on speakerphone?
I don't remember, but that sounds plausible.
What was the purpose of putting the phone on speaker, if you know?
I would be guessing, but so my dad could hear too?
But wasn't Dad in the shower, or you don't remember that part?
I don't remember if my dad was in the shower.
Was anyone else there to your knowledge?
I don't think so.
Was Charlie there to your knowledge?
I don't think so.
Did you ask your mom in that telephone conversation to tell Charlie what was going on?
I think I did. I didn't want to make any more phone calls.
And your mom took the news pretty well, didn't she, this phone call?
I wouldn't say she took the news well. I think she was upset.
Did you say something different in your law enforcement interview after you got off the phone with her?
I don't think I did. I don't think I said something like that.
Didn't you say, page 265, line 5 through 6, quote, my mom handled that pretty well?
I may have said that. I can check it. Can you tell me the line again?
Yes, ma'am, page 265, line 5 and 6.
Yes, that's what I said.
And then page 280, line 22 and 23. Did you also say, well, my parents sounded really surprised, so that's at least a relief?
Yes, I see that here.
No further questions?
Just one moment, Your Honor. afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
I represent your mother in this case. You've never spoken to me about this case, correct?
I have not.
I guess the best place to start is where you left off with respect to the comments that you made regarding your mother taking it well. When's the last time you listened to that call?
I haven't listened to it. Listened to the call I had with my mom. I've never listened to it.
Well, from the interview room, you've never listened to your interview?
I have read the transcript of my interview, but I never listened to my interview.
You don't recall the shock in your mother's voice when you told her what had happened?
I do think she was shocked.
You could hear that over the phone, correct?
Yes.
So many topics were covered, I'm gonna have to kind of skip around, okay? Katie Magbanawa, Catherine Magbanawa, I guess people call her Katie. There was a picture of you with her at the beach, and there was another young lady there. You recall that?
I recall the picture, yes.
And that was Father's Day weekend, I guess, of 2014.
Yes, ma'am.
And I think your testimony was that really you only knew her with Charlie, is that right?
That's right.
Was Charlie at the beach?
No.
Your mother wasn't there either, was she?
No.
And then I think you mentioned that you had a dinner with Katie?
And my brother.
Okay. Was that before you went to the beach?
It was a different time.
Do you recall if it was before then?
It was before,
Okay.
but several months before.
Several months before.
Mhm.
Okay. So if this was Father's Day, when do you think you actually met her for the first time?
I think I met her when I was doing the alternative spring break, so that's usually March or April.
Same year?
Same year.
And the dinner that was mentioned, is that the first place you ever met her?
That's the first place I remember meeting her.
And who all was there?
It was my brother and Katie and Jeff and I. Jeff
Mr.
Lacasse.
I'm sorry, how you pronounce it?
Lacasse.
Lacasse. Okay, so the four of you were there. Your mother was not there.
No.
I want you to, it's been 11 years, so a lot I'm sure has happened to you in the past 11 years. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
And your memory may not be as good as it was of things that happened back then, now that 11 years has passed. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. As best you can, I want you to take yourself out of the year 2025 and go back to the years somewhere like 2010 through 2014 when Mr. Markel was murdered, okay?
Okay.
In that time frame are going to be most of the questions that I ask you.
Okay.
All right. I think you testified you had a brother, Charlie,
Yes.
and you have a brother, Rob.
Yes.
So that was a 5-member family.
Yes.
Okay. And Rob's the oldest.
Yes.
Charlie's the middle.
Yes.
And you're the baby.
Yes.
Okay. And you grew up in a household where, was your mother working when you were younger?
No.
Okay. She stayed home with the kids.
She did.
And at some point she went back into teaching, which is what she had done before she had her first child, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And she did that after you were in school, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And then you all went to school, grade school, high school, you grew up, right?
Yes.
Each one of you went off to college.
Yes.
Each one of you got a postgraduate degree.
Yes.
So you're an attorney.
Yes.
Charlie became a periodontist,
Yes.
which is someone who does surgery related to dentistry, correct?
Yes.
And then Rob's a doctor as well.
Yes.
And throughout the time that you all were going to college, your parents helped support you,
Yes.
every one of you.
Yes.
And you had a good childhood.
I did.
And your mom took good care of you all.
Yes.
She treated you well.
Yes.
Very kind,
Yes.
very loving,
Yes.
very caring towards her family and others.
Yes.
I think you once described her as being kind, empathetic, and very loving and sensitive person. Do you recall that?
I don't recall that, but that sounds right.
That she radiates positivity.
Yes.
She has a very loving and respectful and fun relationship with my dad. They are very much in love. Now it's been 54 years.
It has.
You said your mom was completely selfless.
Yes.
That's the opposite of selfish.
It is.
Means she's caring more about others than she does about herself.
Yes, ma'am.
And what she did was for others.
Yes.
Never doing anything for herself.
Correct.
She was invested in your lives,
Yes.
and both of your brothers.
Yes.
Okay. You were a close family.
Yes.
And would you say she was a good mother to you?
Yes. Very good mother.
And a very good grandmother as well.
Yes.
When you had your first child, and you needed someone to help out, your mother came,
She did.
and she spent time there.
Yes.
And when the baby was crying in the middle of the night so that you could get some rest, she took care of the baby.
She did.
And she did that for both of your children.
Yes.
Fair to say that your mom has always been there for you when you needed her,
Yes.
for little things and big things.
Yes.
Now, you said that you testified that you left Danny in September of 2012. You recall that?
Yes.
From September of 2012 until March of 2013, your mother actually spent quite a bit of time helping you with the boys in Tallahassee, correct?
She did. Yes.
She would go home and take care of things there, but she would return.
Yes.
So a substantial amount of each month, she was there assisting you with the children.
Yes.
While you were at work, she may take them to school. Is that correct, their daycare?
I don't remember that one, whether I dropped them at school or my mom did, but it's certainly possible that she took them to school.
She might have picked them up.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
She did some housework, cleaning up around the house.
Yes.
She bought groceries.
Yes.
She cooked.
Yes.
She cleaned.
Yes.
She was there for you because you had just left a marriage where you had a partner helping you, and now you were adjusting to being by yourself, correct?
Yes.
Now, at the time, this time period we're talking about, your mother lived in, where did you say, Coral Springs?
Coral Springs.
And where is that in relation to Miami?
It's Broward County, so it's the county north of Dade County, which is where Miami is.
And Broward County, that's like where Fort Lauderdale is?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and their dentist practice that they had that's been referred to, Adelson Institute,
Yes.
that was located in Broward County, correct?
It was, yes.
Not far from where your parents lived.
Yes, in Tamarack, so
Okay.
close to Coral Springs.
Okay. And at some point, they got the place down in Miami, right?
Yes.
So what they were doing was they would work Monday through Thursday and stay at their home in Coral Springs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
then they would go and spend the weekend at the place in Miami. Is that right?
I don't think every weekend, but some weekends.
Some of them. Okay.
Yeah,
And you visited there.
I did.
Okay. Now, when your mother would come up to assist you or just to visit with you and the children and Danny, did she drive typically or fly?
I think sometimes drive, sometimes fly.
Okay, and that's
Most of the time drive, I think.
most of the time drive, and that's almost an 8-hour trip, correct?
It is, yes.
And at the time that this occurred, your mother would have been, when Danny was murdered, she would have been, let's see, 64-ish?
That sounds right.
She's 75 now. Is that yes?
Yes.
Okay. And sometimes she would rent cars, is that right?
Yes.
As opposed to driving her vehicle?
Yes.
Okay. Your father came sometimes as well to help out?
Yes.
Okay. I want to talk about Mr. Markel for a few minutes. I think you said you met online,
We did.
but you were attracted to him.
Yes.
He was a handsome young man.
Yes.
You're a beautiful young woman.
Thank you.
And you got married.
We did, yes.
And there were times, I mean, we've heard about the divorce, but before the divorce, there were times where you had a happy marriage.
Yes.
And you all enjoyed spending time together.
Yes.
The two of you together and with your children.
Yes.
And even your parents who would come up and spend time with you.
Yes.
And your parents actually took you and Danny on vacations, right?
Yes.
There was one trip where they took you out of the country and you went ziplining. Do you remember that?
Yes, we went to Costa Rica.
And after the ziplining is when you told them that you were pregnant, correct?
I went ziplining pregnant, yes.
Okay. You would agree with me that Danny, I'm saying Danny because that's what people call him. I'm not trying to be disrespectful of him. He's
No, I called him Danny.
okay. You would agree that he was very intelligent.
Yes, very.
He had 2 degrees from Harvard, correct?
Yes.
Undergraduate and law school.
Yes, ma'am.
He did a lot of writing,
Yes.
and at the time that he was murdered, he was a tenured professor at the College of Law here at FSU, correct?
Yes.
And becoming tenured is not like an automatic thing. You have to work towards that, right?
Yes,
Takes a lot of time,
it does.
a lot of effort.
Hmm.
He put in a lot of work to gain that status.
Yes,
And he traveled to go and speak at different places, right?
yes,
And he was well respected by his colleagues.
yes, very.
Okay. And after he had children, those became the love of his life, didn't they?
Yes,
And even after you separated, I think you would agree with me that Danny made a great deal of effort to get as much time with his children as he could. Is that fair?
yes, absolutely.
Even when it was your time to have the children, he would go to their preschool and visit with them there.
Yes,
He wanted to talk to them on the phone when he didn't have them,
yes,
and he wanted to Skype with them, correct?
yes,
Okay. And that, I'm sorry, I'm old, but that involved like a computer where you can see each other while you're talking, is that right?
I think now it's something you could do on the phone, but back then you needed a computer.
Okay. And you assisted with that,
I did.
not necessarily the schedule he wanted.
I'm sorry?
You didn't necessarily keep the schedule that Danny wanted for Skyping, right?
I did try,
You tried,
yes,
but that was one of the things you two bickered about.
it was.
Okay. And during the time that you were with Danny, your mother was always kind to him, wasn't she?
She was,
Before you got married to him,
yes,
while you were married to him,
yes,
while you were separated,
yes,
and after the divorce.
yes,
And there's been a lot of testimony and a lot of pictures put up, lots of things highlighted about the ugly things that your mother said about Danny during the course of the separation, the divorce, and the follow-up litigation, right?
yes,
And you shared, as you've testified, some of the pleadings that were filed in your case.
yes,
And some of the pleadings weren't very attractive towards you, were they?
no,
They described things that were derogatory towards you, is that fair?
yes,
And the communications that you had with Danny during the separation leading up to the divorce and some thereafter were pretty critical of you, weren't they?
the communication on paper, which
Right.
was very different than the communication in person.
Right, but the paperwork was critical,
Yes,
and you shared that with your mother.
yes,
And some of the things that he said to you in writing, whether they were communications or in the pleadings, upset you.
yes,
Some of it was very upsetting to you.
yes,
And you shared it with your mother, and then she became upset.
yes,
And she said bad words.
yes,
She called him a lot of bad names.
yes,
She said ugly things about him.
yes,
But not one single time did she ever suggest in writing or to you personally that Danny deserved to be harmed, did she?
never,
Never said he needed to be killed.
never,
Never suggested any harm to him in any way.
never,
And those things that she said to you in the emails, the communications I assume that you all thought were between yourselves, you never shared those with Danny, did you?
no,
And during the separation, well, during the time you're married, we've already established, but during the separation, if Danny needed help with the children, your mother assisted him, didn't she?
he had called her and asked for help at various times, and she did.
And after the divorce, the same thing, correct?
He would call and ask for help, and she would help.
Let's see here. Do you have States Exhibit 60 up there?
I don't see anything that says 60 on it.
I can't use this book, but is this JJ? May I approach the witness, Sean? I'm going to show you what has been entered into evidence as States Exhibit 60, and I think they refer to it as JJ.
Okay.
Okay? And this would be your, it's gonna fall if you don't hold that
Okay,
side, I'm
no
sorry.
problem.
I can't get this over for some reason.
I can try.
But this has been referred to as the pleadings that are within your dissolution file.
Okay.
Okay? I'm gonna leave that with you, okay?
Okay.
Could you look at that document, the JJ, please?
Yes, you want me to just keep reading through it?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I want you to familiarize yourself with it.
I'm still reading through it. Should I continue to
I
read
just
to
want,
the?
you don't need to read every word. If you would just familiarize yourself so that you can recall the substance of that pleading.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Prior to you filing your petition for dissolution, do you want me to come and get that?
No, it's okay.
Okay. Prior to filing your petition for dissolution, what kind of experience did you have regarding divorce proceedings?
I'm trying to understand the question.
Yeah,
So
sure.
prior to filing the dissolution of marriage,
Yes.
there weren't any divorce proceedings prior to filing.
I guess what I'm saying is because you're an attorney, were you familiar with family law?
No,
Had you participated in any, helping anybody with their dissolution of marriage?
I had not.
Completely unfamiliar with the process?
I was unfamiliar with the process.
And that pleading that's before you, are you back on the front page of that?
I can get back to the front page.
Thank you.
I'm at the front page.
Okay. And could you read for the jury what the title of that pleading is?
Yes, ma'am. Former husband's counter motion for enforcement of MSA on parenting issues and motion for contempt and sanctions.
Doesn't say grandmother motion, does it?
No.
And in fact, the overwhelming majority of that motion relates to Danny's complaints about you and parenting issues, correct?
It does, yes.
And in fact, what they call the grandmother part of that motion is really Danny complaining about you not meeting the requirements of the right of first refusal, correct?
That's correct.
Because his complaint is that if you gave him the right of first refusal, some of the times he could take it and the children would be with him instead of the grandmother.
Yes.
It wasn't actually suggesting that from this point forward, your mother could no longer have anything but supervised visitation, correct?
I didn't see it that way.
Okay. And in any event, your mother never saw that motion, did she?
No, she did not.
May I approach? I'm gonna take the book. I don't know if I'm gonna give it back to you or not. That way it's not gonna fall on you.
Okay.
Now, the state has referred to this bribe. You've heard him talk about that, correct?
I believe so.
They suggested, because I think there are emails that discuss this, about potentially offering Danny $1 million.
Yes.
And your understanding of what was trying to take place there, because you actually put that in writing, was it wasn't to take the children away from Danny, was it?
No.
It was in hopes that he would relocate to Miami as well, correct?
Yes.
And that although you would live separate lives, you could raise your children together, correct?
Yes.
Because there were more opportunities for him, Danny, to practice his Jewish faith in Miami than there is in Tallahassee, correct?
Correct.
They have kosher food in Miami,
Yes.
lots of it.
Yes.
They don't have that in Tallahassee.
No.
And the $1 million offer was not to bribe him in what sounds like an illegal sense. It was an incentive for him to relocate himself to Miami, correct?
Yes. That was my understanding. Yes.
You lived there with him before,
Yes.
and he liked living there.
Yes. He
In
liked
fact-
it very much.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you.
No, that's okay. I was just saying he liked it very much.
In fact, he tried to get a professorship at the University of Miami School of Law.
He did.
And if he had gotten that, the plan between you and he was to stay in Miami, correct?
We would have. Yes.
But he didn't get it, and so he had already been employed by FSU College of Law, right?
Yes.
And so you moved up here and finished law school, and you all remained in this area.
Yes.
So the $1 million would offset, as the state has mentioned, travel expenses if he moved there, correct?
Right.
He only taught 2 days a week, right?
Yes.
And so that would have given him the opportunity to live in Miami, but for the 2 days a week he needed to be in Tallahassee, he could take plane trips, right?
Yes.
And be here.
Yes.
And if you all had done that, he still could have enjoyed 50% parenting time with his children, right?
That would have been the same. Yes.
It wasn't to take him away from the kids.
No.
talk about relocation more than once, but I just want to make sure I understand how that all came about, okay? So it was, you left the marital home in August or September of 2012?
I think it was September.
Okay, so you separated officially in 2012.
Yes.
By the time he was murdered, almost 2 years had passed.
Yes.
Okay. Do I understand it correctly that somewhere around October or November of 2012 that you interviewed for a job at a law firm in Miami?
I did.
And that was the Grossman firm?
I think it's Grossman and Roth.
Okay. And somewhere around December of 2012, they made you an offer.
They did.
And I don't need to know numbers, but was it substantially more than you were making in Tallahassee?
It was, and it was just more secure.
More secure. Okay. Not more money?
No, it was more money, but it just, more than anything, it was secure money as opposed to grant money that could be taken away.
Okay, so you were a professor also at the law school here in Tallahassee,
I was.
FSU.
Yes.
You were not tenured.
No, I was a clinical professor.
Okay, so being tenured means you have more stability in your job.
Yes, you
It's
have more job security.
Job security, okay. And so you got that offer in December, and sometime in January, you told Danny that you had a good job offer, correct?
Yes, I asked to meet with him, and we went to get coffee and talk about it.
Okay, and in part of that discussion, you asked him if he would consider all of you, not together, but all of you
Yes.
relocating to Miami, correct?
I did.
And he was going to consider that, correct?
He said he was considering it. He wasn't opposed to it.
Okay. You thought it would be good for all of you, correct?
I thought it could be.
Including the boys.
Yes.
Okay. He decided he didn't want to do it, right?
He changed his mind.
Okay. But you didn't change your mind, right?
No, I kept going with it.
So you filed a motion for temporary relocation, and you also amended your petition for dissolution to add relocation, correct?
I did.
Okay. At the time that you filed it, did you think you had a good shot at it?
I thought I had a shot. I didn't really know. It would depend on the judge.
Okay. And we'll go back to it later, but I guess on June the 18th of 2013, which would be right before your divorce was finalized, right? You had a hearing on your motion for relocation.
Yes.
And the state has already presented in its exhibits a copy of the order, and relocation was denied, correct?
It was.
Okay. And after relocation was denied, you and Danny were able to work out some kind of temporary schedule for the summer?
We were.
Okay. And then you proceeded forward, and there's been discussion. There was a mediation that did not resolve your divorce, but within a few days thereafter, you did come to an agreement with Danny, correct?
We did.
You agreed to all of the issues in the dissolution of marriage, right?
Yes.
Including how you were going to share time with him.
Yes.
Was it ever your intention in the dissolution proceedings, from the time that you moved out of your marital home, that you would actually take the children's custody completely away from Danny so that he couldn't see them?
And no.
Did you always want them to be a big part of his life?
Of course.
He loved them and they loved him.
Yes.
Yes. That's fine. The bailiff will take you all to the jury room. They can come up here to use it if they need to. Thank you. You all can be seated. Zalman, if your client does need to use a bathroom break at this point, this would be the opportunity to do so. We'll take a 5-minute break. Hopefully the jurors will be ready at that point. You can step down if you need to.
I'll wait. Thank you.
Everyone can be seated. Ms. Fulford, you may continue with your cross-examination.
Thank you. I have just a bunch of oddball questions at this point. You recall getting emails from your mother
Yes.
and your father,
Well, yes, from both,
And-
from the
and-
same email.
and I think you had a necklace at some point during that time period that said, never, never, never give up.
I did.
And your parents would sometimes put that in the emails back to you, correct?
Yes.
I need to know if you recall this. Your parents, you had mentioned when they went out of the country, used the WhatsApp to communicate with them because it was free of charge.
Yes.
And you could call them free of
Yeah.
charge?
Yes.
And you could message with them free of charge?
Both. Yes.
Okay. And when your parents would go out of town, do you recall that they had a routine where your mother would take her phone, but your father would not get the plan to travel with? Do you recall that?
That sounds right.
Okay. And wasn't that because if you called the Adelson Institute and you got the answering machine, it was an old-fashioned answering machine, right?
Yes.
And what it gave out if you reached the answering machine was your father's cell phone number.
Yes.
So he didn't want to
Yes.
be contacted when he was out of town, and that's what people would get, right?
Yes.
The birthday party that's been mentioned for your dad, it was his 70th birthday,
It was.
and although I don't think it ended up being a surprise, your mom was trying to plan a party for him where he knew his children and grandchildren would be there, but she was trying to surprise him with the friends.
That's right.
Okay. And you might have helped her with some of those preparations.
I think so.
And she planned it for several months, right?
Yes.
And I think one of the things that you got involved with was a caterer that was going to be used to cook paella, I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, at the party.
It's pronounced paella. I remember on the night of, I speak Spanish, so I spoke with him in Spanish because I don't think he spoke much English.
And Mommy, your mother didn't speak Spanish, right?
No.
Okay. You weren't actually making the order and buying it, correct?
No, I didn't pay for anything.
May I approach, Your Honor?
You may.
I'm sorry. It's still Adelson, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Adelson, I'm going to approach and show you what's been marked, just for identification purposes, as Defense 49J, and ask you to look at that and tell me if you've ever seen that before.
I have seen this before.
Okay, and that's an email that your father sent to you regarding the appointment that he had made for the TV to be repaired, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And on the front page, you can see where he's forwarding it to you, and it says, "Love, Dad," right?
Yes.
And then he tells you when the appointment's going to be, Friday the 18th between 8 and 12, right?
Yes.
And then when you flip, well, now stay on the first page. Do you see down almost 2/3 of the way down where it has the order information and the order creation date?
Yes.
And that date was what?
The order creation date is July 11th, 2014.
Okay. And on the next page, where the problem description is, it says that Harvey called in, stated that the 55-inch TV had some problems, right?
Yes.
Go to the next page. It repeats about the complaint that your father had about what was wrong with the TV, right?
Yes.
If you you scroll down, there are some questions under dates submitted, right?
Yes.
Whether the TV is wall mounted,
Yes.
what the size of the TV is.
Yes.
If it's mounted over 6 feet high.
Yes.
If the height of the ceiling.
Yes.
Is it eligible for a loaner?
Yes.
Was it installed by the Geek Squad?
Yes.
Is the product that we're going to service in a place of business?
So I'm saying yes that I see these questions, but the answer to that question is no.
Right.
Okay.
Correct. That's what I was going to point out. So your
Okay.
dad said no to that one, correct?
Right.
Is the product that we are going to service in a place of business, and your dad answered no, correct?
He answered no.
And the next one says what?
Would you be willing to accept a sooner appointment if one became available? And the answer to that one is yes.
Thank you. May I approach? Ms. Adelson, you testified on direct when asked some questions about the name change of your children. You recall those questions?
Yes.
Okay, and I think your testimony was that you officially changed your children's last names a year and a half? What did you say?
I legally changed them a year after Danny's death.
Okay. But after he passed away and you went to Miami, it was time for your oldest child to be enrolled in kindergarten, right?
Yes.
And so what were the ages of the children when Danny was murdered?
They were almost 5 and 3.5.
Okay. And so the 5-year-old was going into kindergarten.
Yes.
And where was the other child going to be? Was he being put in a preschool program?
It was a preschool program.
Okay. And so you went and registered them at the school, correct?
Yes.
And the official registration said Markel for the children's last names, correct?
I believe so.
But because you were going to socially refer to them as Adelson, that's what you asked the school to do as well, right?
Yes.
And so when you went into orientation for the oldest child, I'm trying not to say the name, when you went into orientation for the oldest child for kindergarten, and they had his little nameplate there where he was going to sit at his desk, it said last name Adelson, right?
I honestly don't remember him having a last name on. I remember his first name being there, but I don't remember. I thought they put the first names for the kindergartners.
But you asked the school to refer to him by the last name Adelson.
I did. I
Okay.
did.
And so there was an exhibit that was shown to you where your mother had registered him for an after-school flag football, right?
Right.
And so because the school's knowing his name, that he's being referred to as Adelson, that's why she did that, correct?
Correct.
And the youngest one, where was he going to go? Or where did he go?
He was at a preschool, a private preschool, because he was too young to go to the preschool at the public elementary school.
Okay, and whether it was your mother or your father who wrote the email about signing up and grandpa's coming with him to, I'm sorry, I'm not Jewish, I didn't understand what that was.
It's okay. Tot Shabbat would have been, like a Sabbath
Okay.
activity where the grandparents would come and sing songs and
Okay.
something like that.
And so the younger one's also being known as last name Adelson.
Yes.
Okay. Because socially, that's what you wanted them to go forward with.
I thought it would make them safer.
Okay. There was some questions of you on direct about potentially purchasing a home after the divorce was final in 2013. You recall those questions?
I do.
And it was suggested that Charlie convinced you not to do that, right?
That was what was suggested.
But in fact, the reason I think you stated was because you hadn't gotten your settlement yet from Mr. Markel.
Right. I didn't have the money to purchase a home.
And so even though you had been interested in it, you had to notify your realtor that,
It wasn't possible at that time.
okay. And in the emails that the state introduced and discussed with you, where your mother is making lots of suggestions, mostly after relocation was denied, of things that you could do, like tell Danny you're going to raise them as Catholics, you're going to have them baptized as Catholics. All of those suggestions she was making, correct?
Yes.
She wasn't actually suggesting you do it. She was wanting you to use that as a means of negotiating with Danny, right?
That's my understanding.
That if he thought maybe you were going to do these things, he would reconsider the issue of relocation, correct?
Correct.
Testified that your mother hated Danny at the time that he was killed. Do you remember saying that?
I believe I said that.
But the week before he died, your mother was babysitting for Danny, wasn't she?
Yes.
And nothing but pleasantries between the two of them.
That's right.
And
I
in
mean,
fact, she actually made him banana bread specifically the way he liked it, right?
it was his favorite.
Without nuts, but with chocolate chips.
That's right.
But you think she hated him?
I think she was mad at him.
Mad at him. There's a difference between being mad at someone and hating them, isn't there?
There is.
I think you testified that, and there may have been an email that suggested it, that you would have never left Danny if not for your mom and maybe brother's suggestions. Did you say that?
I don't think that was exactly right. I think it was, I probably wouldn't have left. Kind of suggesting that maybe I would have wanted to, but wouldn't have had the strength or wherewithal to leave on my own.
Okay, isn't it true that each year, maybe not every year, but many years, yourself and Danny would, when you finished the school session here at FSU College of Law, you would go down to Coral Springs or Miami, whichever they were at, and you would spend almost 2 weeks with your parents, right?
Yes.
And that would be yourself and Danny when it was just you, right?
Yes.
And then after you had the children, all of you went down there, correct?
Yes.
Well, in fact, what really happened was in the summer of 2012, when you decided that you were going to leave Danny, Danny was down there with you, correct?
Yes.
And the children were there too?
Yes.
And they were young. How old were they?
In 2012, they would have been 2 and 3.
Okay. And Danny was there, and you actually asked your mom if she'd go out to coffee with you. You remember that?
I don't remember that.
And you told her then that you were going to leave Danny and get a divorce, didn't you?
That sounds right, but I don't remember that.
Okay. And in fact, she suggested counseling to you, and you told her you guys had already been in counseling and it didn't work. Isn't that right?
We had been in counseling and it hadn't worked, but again, this sounds like something that could have happened, but I just don't remember the coffee.
Okay. There was also questions of you, several questions about your interview with law enforcement the day that Danny was shot. You recall those questions from the state?
I do recall the questions.
And they were pointing out things that you had said about your family, your parents, Charlie. You remember those questions?
I do.
Isn't it true that when you were interviewed by law enforcement, what you said initially was that Danny's parents were going to think that you're the one who did it, right?
I did say that.
I wanted to talk about the relocation a little bit. So you have a relocation hearing on June the 18th. Does that sound right?
2013?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. And leading up to that hearing, you notified your mother by email that because she was going to be testifying in court, she would need to wait outside that hearing, correct?
I don't remember that, but that if she was supposed to be a witness, then she couldn't be present for the hearing.
May I approach, Your Honor? I'm going to show you, oh my goodness, I can't read that. I'm going to show you what's been marked for identification purposes of Defense Exhibit 49B. You could just read that for me, please, to yourself.
Do you want me to read to the end?
No, ma'am, I'm just looking for where you told your mother, get you to agree that you said to her, because you are testifying in court, Mom, you won't be able to sit in on the hearing with me. Is that what
Yes.
you said?
Yes,
Okay.
but I can have Dad there.
Okay.
Yep.
Come and get it from you.
Okay.
Sometime in April of 2013, so that would be not long before your divorce was final. You took a trip, I don't know if you were speaking there or someone else was, but you took a trip out of town with a gentleman named Miguel. Do you recall that?
I don't recall the trip, but I was seeing Miguel at the time.
You do recall the trip?
Well, I was seeing Miguel at the time, but I don't know what the trip was in April of 2013. I don't remember that. Can you tell me where we went?
Yes, ma'am, I'm going to get that. for
Okay.
you. Puerto Rico, does that sound familiar?
It was a clinical law professor conference. There's one every year, and that year it was in Puerto Rico.
Okay, and did you speak at that, or you were there to get credit hours or something of that
No,
nature?
I spoke.
May I approach, Your Honor? I'm going to now show you what's been marked for identification purposes as Defendant's Exhibit 1E. And it's dated April the 28th of 2013 and addressed Dear Renee. You don't need to read it all, but would you familiarize yourself with your communication there, please?
read a little bit. Do you want me to?
No, that's okay.
Okay.
I'll point out any sections that I wanted to discuss with you. Would you agree that you wrote this on April the 28th of 2013?
Yes, it looks like I dated it.
Okay, and that's to Renee.
Yes.
And you're coming back from your trip to Puerto Rico.
Yes.
And while you were on this trip, your parents were taking care of the boys, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And on the first page, down towards the bottom, you have some bullet points about what you would like to do to resolve your divorce, correct?
Well, I think it was not just about my divorce. It was kind of about how I wanted to be living my life overall.
Yeah, I was trying not to get into the personal information, but that's right. This entire email is really about changes you want to make in your life, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And the last bullet point down at the bottom, it says, I've been coming to a place in the last few months where I have realized that I want to keep my job. It allows me the maximum amount of flexibility to spend with my kids while allowing the freedom for intellectual exploration, one-on-one mentoring with students, and meaningful work in the community. I don't care that Jibbers told my colleagues that I stole from him and that I am mentally ill. Nasty things are said in divorce, and people know that, right?
Yes.
Tallahassee isn't ever where I wanted to live, but it's where the job is. And it's where my boy's father is, which means they don't have to constantly be flying on planes or driving in cars to accomplish our custody situation, right?
Yes.
So you have the pending petition and motion for relocation, but as of April the 28th, you're starting to think maybe staying in Tallahassee is the right thing to do, correct?
Yes.
And then this goes on. Third page is, now you're writing on May the 2nd of 2013, correct?
Yes.
A little different subject, but if you go to the next to the last page of that exhibit, see where it starts, wait, it's me again?
Yes.
Okay. The paragraph after that, I wanted to ask you about this. It says, on Sunday morning, we're supposed to sit on the same stage. You're referring to Mr. Markel, correct?
Yes.
In full regalia and clap for the graduating law students. I love graduation, and the Jibbs has never attended because it's normally on a Saturday morning and he is at synagogue. Correct?
Yes.
And then you say it's on Sunday this year and I have the boys and the dean wants all faculty to attend, so I need to. It's only 2 hours and my mom can watch the boys during that time. Correct?
Yes.
So it was fairly routine then for you to get your mother or both parents' assistance when you had somewhere that you needed to be and someone needed to take care of the children, correct?
Yes.
Sorry, Judge, I have so many papers up here, I've got me confused. May I approach? I'm gonna exchange with you, Ms. Adelson. I'll take that one back and then show you what's been marked as Defense Exhibit 1G for identification purposes. Could you review that to yourself, please? I'm not sure if this was to Renee or not. Yeah, you mentioned Renee. So this is on June the 4th of 2013, correct?
Yes.
And we're approaching the hearing date on the relocation motion, which is set for June the 18th, right?
Yes.
And in here, you're expressing some concerns over what you've been through in the divorce. But you said, and I think the state referred to this, that Mr. Markel had sent you a long message about how you could be doing all of the divorce stuff so differently in the spirit of love and joy, where we get together and talk about our vision for the boys and for our future. And I won't say what you said after that, but at this point, you're kind of agreeing with him. You want to do it peacefully, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you talk about the one alternative is you could call Gary. Now, Gary is the gentleman who was kind of offering you a position in Miami, right?
Gary was a partner at the law firm where a position was offered to me.
Okay, and your plan was to have him come and testify at the relocation hearing about the job that he would be giving you if you relocated there, correct?
Yes.
And you had other people who were going to testify there as well on your behalf, right?
Yes.
Okay. And so you say one alternative is you call Gary and say, I've changed my mind. I don't think it's best for my kids to move them to South Florida. I appreciate you saving the job for me, but I'm not going to come to South Florida, correct?
Yes.
And then you call your brother and say, I love you, Charlie, but I'm going to stay in Tallahassee. I know you don't agree with my decision, but that's what's best for me and the kids right now. I hope one day you'll understand. That was something else you were considering, correct?
Right.
And then call your parents and say basically the same thing. And if they wanted to come up anytime and visit you and the boys in Tallahassee, they were free to do so, right?
Yes.
But that's like they've always been doing, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So you think if you take relocation off the table, that it will give you an opportunity to discuss things with Mr. Markel and hopefully work them out, right?
Yes.
On the next page, you talk about what the alternative vision is, and that's what you currently have planned, which is to have Gary fly up to testify at the hearing, right?
Yes.
Your mom would testify, right?
Yes.
They would fly up and spend days with you, correct?
Yes.
You expected at that time the hearing would last 1 to 2 days, right?
Yes.
And you were concerned that you would go through all of that, spending more money, being more stressed. And then you say, for the chance to save face with my family and to be given an opportunity I don't actually want, to live with them in South Florida. That's what you said, right?
Well, I say an opportunity I don't actually want with all of my heart, but maybe part of it,
Okay.
to live with them in South Florida.
All right. And then you say, so I am willing to put myself through all of this just to keep up appearances with my parents and brother that I want to be living down in South Florida or down south with them, even though I don't want to. That's what you said, right?
I say even though I don't want to give up my current flexible job where I get to spend maximum time with my kids so I can be with them.
Okay. And that was June the 4th of 2013, right?
Yes.
And what you end up choosing was the second alternative, correct?
I went through with the hearing.
Okay. And I think, let me find it. May I approach, Your Honor? I'm going to show you what's already been introduced into evidence as State's Exhibit 60. Let's see if I can figure out their lettering system. That would be Y. I'm going to take this and let you take this book.
Okay.
And if you would review that pleading, or this order that the court entered, please.
Okay.
Have you had an opportunity to review that?
Yes.
So you went into this hearing and Gary ended up coming, correct?
He did.
And he testified, right?
Yes.
And you gave some testimony, correct?
Yes.
And what happened was the judge kind of called a timeout, right?
I don't remember a timeout.
At some point she wanted to speak to counsel, is that right?
I'm sorry, I don't remember that part of her speaking to counsel.
Do you remember the judge making some comments about the children hadn't been harmed and since he hadn't pulled out their toenails?
I do remember the toenail comment, yes.
So she wasn't leaning towards relocation, correct?
No.
Okay, so even though you had other witnesses, you didn't proceed with the hearing, right?
Well, I think we had the hearing and the judge decided.
You didn't call all your witnesses, did you?
I don't remember.
If you look at the order, it says order on wife's petition to relocate with the minor children. And then it says what the court orders and adjudges. The court does not find that the wife has met her burden of proof that a relocation is in the best interest of the minor children. You see that?
Yes, number 1.
Yes, and your mother actually stayed outside for the testimony of that hearing with your dad, correct?
I don't remember, but I remember asking her to stay outside if she was going to testify.
Okay. And you came outside at some point and told your parents that relocation was denied, correct?
Correct.
And it's after this hearing, when relocation is denied, that those truly ugly emails that your mother wrote were written by her, correct?
Yes.
May I approach? Actually, if you'd keep that for a second.
Okay.
Once the final judgment was entered, the issue of relocation was over, right?
Yes.
Relocation from July 31st of 2013 until the time that Mr. Markel was murdered was never an issue again, was it?
It was never an issue from the day it was decided on July 31st, 2013. That's when it ended.
Certainly after the final judgment, correct?
Yes.
And that's the end of the discussion about relocation, right?
Yes.
No more plans about how to get relocation. The issue's decided, correct?
It was decided.
Ms. Adelson, if you look at that order that's entered by the court, besides saying it's denied, it says something pretty important, and I think the state pointed this out in its opening. It says that this denial is with prejudice
Yes, ma'am.
of the wife's petition for request to relocate with the minor children. And you're a lawyer, so you know that with prejudice means this is done. This topic in this divorce is over.
Yes, with prejudice means it's a final decision of the court.
But what it says right before that is, as such, the parties stipulate to the denial with prejudice of the wife's petition. You see that?
Yes, I do.
So what happened is after the judge says, if their toenails haven't been pulled out, I'm not thinking relocation, you actually stipulated to denial with prejudice, right?
Yes.
You did not tell your parents that you stipulated to denial with prejudice, did you?
I don't remember any conversation there, really.
So, not knowing that it was denied with prejudice, your mother thought you still had an opportunity to get it up through your final hearing, right?
I believe so.
And so she kept writing these ugly things and giving you all of these ugly suggestions, right?
She did write those emails.
If you had told her you stipulated with prejudice, that's probably not what you wanted, Mom, but that would have been the end of it, right?
I don't know. I would just be guessing.
May I approach?
You may.
Well, if you'd just be guessing, after she thought it was finally over on July the 31st, there were no more emails suggesting you do things like she suggested between the hearing date on June the 20th and the final hearing on July the 31st, did she?
Can you help me? What is the question?
So sure. So your mother doesn't know when you get out of the hearing on June the 20th that you've stipulated that this is a forever decision. So she writes these ugly emails, right?
She may not have understood that it was a final decision of the court.
It was a decision of the court because you stipulated to it, Ms. Adelson, didn't you?
I did stipulate to
And
it.
she didn't know it. She thought you had up until the final hearing. So she's marching along trying to come up with more suggestions of how you can pressure Danny and get him to agree for you to relocate, even though you know it's dead, right?
I knew that it was a final decision.
And after July the 31st, when she thought it was a final decision, she wrote no more emails suggesting you do these crazy things to still try and get relocation, did she?
I don't remember the dates of the email, but
And you
I'm guessing
testified
no.
when you got up, when the state was asking you questions, after you said your mother hated Danny at the time that he was killed, which you've clarified now that she was mad at him, not that she hated him. You testified you hated him at the time he was killed, right?
I don't remember testifying to that.
Well, then we'll need to take a break, Judge. May
Do you have
we
any
approach?
Questions for the witness?
I do. May we approach?
Please approach.
Ms. Adelson, isn't it true that before getting married to Mr. Markel in, was it 2006?
2006 we got married.
Isn't it true that you've stated that you knew on your fancy wedding day, when you were all dolled up and feeling like you were an actor in someone else's show, you knew it on your honeymoon when you were enjoying the vacation but not thrilled to be there with him, you said, "I'm not sure I liked him, let alone loved him, but I was eager to start a life with someone and he wanted to do it with me." You recall saying that?
I don't recall saying that, no.
I have placed in front of you what's been previously marked as Defendant's Exhibit 1B for identification purposes. It's towards the bottom of page 3.
I see that I said that in 2013.
Ms. Adelson, you would agree that when Danny Markel was murdered on June the 18th of 2014, your little boys lost their father for the rest of their life.
On the day that he was murdered was July 18th, and yes, my boys lost their father.
They're growing up as 11 years have passed without his influence in their life in any way. Isn't that correct?
I wouldn't say without his influence in any way, but yes, they've grown up without their father.
He's not here to give them advice.
He is not.
He can't come to any of their functions, sports, anything else.
Correct.
They're not eating kosher like they would have with their father.
They are not.
They don't have him at all.
They don't have him in their lives day to day, no.
Because on July the 18th of 2014, he was brutally murdered in his driveway. Isn't that true?
That is true.
And you testified on direct that anybody in your family that had anything to do with it should be held responsible. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
And that includes you, doesn't it?
Anyone who's responsible.
Redirect examination.
When you said you were an actor in someone else's show, whose show was it?
I think I felt like I just wasn't fully present in my own life, that I had always been a real people pleaser. And so there was an aspect of not always being true to myself and wanting to make other people happy.
And one of those people is your mom, right?
Yes.
And that's part of why you kept going with relocation, even when you kind of had some doubts about it, right?
I would say it's part of the reason.
You were asked on cross-examination about the final order on relocation issued June 20th, 2013, and didn't you stipulate to making it with prejudice, I guess? Do you remember doing that?
I don't actually remember stipulating. I mean, I see it in the order, but I don't remember actively saying anything or participating in a stipulation.
In fact, when you testified about this previously, didn't you indicate you didn't know what with prejudice meant?
I think it's not something that comes up in my daily practice, and so at the time I had forgotten that it meant that it was a final order.
All right, and it was suggested or said on cross that you didn't tell your mom it was final and she was misled and she thought there was still room for it, right?
That is what was said to me on cross.
I'm going to approach and show you what I've marked as 64JJ. Just take a moment to review this exhibit and let me know when you're done.
Okay. Okay.
Do you recognize that email?
I mean, I recognize the email address. Is that what you mean?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Who's the email from?
The email is from my mom and dad's email address to a friend of theirs.
Who's the friend?
The Klegermans. I think it's Vicky, the woman in the relationship.
Okay, and it's signed Love Donna, right?
Yes, sorry. So it's from my mom.
And in this email, does she indicate to the Klingermans that there is no chance at the appellate level for appeal of your relocation?
Yes, that's what the email says.
All right, and is that email dated 6/25/13?
Yes.
So 5 days after the order was issued, your mom did know that that order was final, based
That's
on this.
Based on that email, yes.
Okay, it was, you were asked questions about, your mom never suggested any harm to Dan Markel to you, but she did want to bribe him, yes?
Yes.
Take control from him, weren't those her words?
Yes.
Aggravate him,
Yes.
scare him.
I don't remember scare him, but I believe that was part of it.
Give him some grief,
Yes.
take something from him.
Yes.
Show that fucker what would make him absolutely miserable,
Yes.
but definitely not kill him, right?
I don't know what the question is.
Donna was caring and devoted to your boys. You were asked about that. That's true, right?
Yes.
In fact, she maybe cared a little too much about your life and you and what was going on with you sometimes, right?
I don't know that you can care too much.
Even the Nazi uniform craziness came from her version of some kind of place of love. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Because although her lawyers tried to downplay this, she was suggesting a baptism for these kids, right?
Yes.
She said she looked into it and could get it done in 2 weeks, right?
I believe that's what it said.
And didn't she justify the means or claim that this would be harmless to your children because it was just like playing dress up to them, right?
Yes.
Just like Jake the Pirates.
Yes.
She thought the ends, relocation, would justify the means, didn't she?
Yes.
And she thought a move to South Florida was what was best for you
Yes.
and what was best for your children,
Yes.
who she cared about more than anyone in the world.
I mean, I don't know who she cared about most in the world, but she loves
Is there,
me.
is there anyone that she cares about more than those two boys?
My dad.
Okay. She thought relocation was best for those boys. They were
Yes.
going to have better opportunities, right?
Yes.
Better family support.
Yes.
a happier mother,
Yes.
with a more lucrative profession,
Yes.
and your lives all depended on it. Isn't that what she said?
Yes.
And Dan Markel could have agreed, couldn't he?
He was amenable, but then he didn't want to ultimately.
Well, he could have moved to South Florida, right? Isn't that what you were asked on cross?
Yes, he could have.
Could have moved to South Florida and enjoyed all that delicious kosher food down there, right?
Yes.
And if he had relented, you and he could have had separate lives in Miami and happily co-parented the boys, right?
In
That
theory,
could have happened.
Yes, it could have.
Except he wouldn't relent, would he?
I mean, he said no, and so we had a hearing, and the judge said no.
Right. He wouldn't relent. He wouldn't give your mom what she wanted, would he?
I mean, we only had one conversation about it, so it wasn't like a ongoing thing.
It wasn't an ongoing thing? What wasn't?
I mean, between Danny and I, we talked about relocation. He said he would think about it, and then he said he didn't want to. And then we had the hearing, and then that was the end of it for me.
Yes, but you were asked on cross, wouldn't things have been potentially great for Danny down there too?
Yes, I think they would have.
Couldn't we all have lived happily ever after if he would have agreed to move down there too? Possibly, right?
Possibly.
But he wouldn't agree.
He didn't agree, no.
Nothing further.